HH, I gotta say that your boy Adolf is rolling in his grave right now because Germany have Sane, Gnabry.
Well, I did, but I smoked. I already told you.
You smoked what? You smoked what?
Is your name Brian?
No.
Okay.
That was random as hell, bro.
I need it for my nana. So
You know what else you need?
what?
I need daddy. I need daddy.
So guys, it's the kid, and guys, we're gonna keep it very real. This is gonna be probably the realest hangout that I've ever done, because I think that things need to be gotten a little bit real. So if you're not ready for a real discussion, then this is not the hangout for you. It's gonna get real. So of course, this is the GOAT discussion, and we'll be discussing that GOAT discussion, and we're going to talk about who is in fact the real GOAT. We all know who it is. We all know who that name is. But just for the fun of it, because it's Sunday and it's a new year, we're going to have that interesting discussion and so forth, because there's a particular criteria you need to actually complete to truly be the GOAT, and we're going to explain that very soon. But before we do that, we're going to talk about a certain club. And we're just going to talk about a certain club going through certain issues. But I think I just want to remind people of something. So just in case some people have forgotten and their memories are lost, I just want people just to look at this image. So
Hashtag McTable.
just taking this image and accept this image, and then we can hopefully progress. So just take a few seconds to accept this image, and then we can. Don't worry, because I'll be referencing this image a lot. So we'll talk about Chelsea and the issues happening at Chelsea, and this will be about how can Chelsea be helped. So rather than it being a roasting session, this is going to be a positive therapy session of how can Chelsea be helped and to be moved forward. So guys, settle in, have a meal, have a drink, like the vid, subscribe if you're new, and enjoy everything to the show, man. So how is everybody's new year looking? Is everybody happy for the new year? Is everybody sad, unfortunate?
Hungover as hell.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in the hospital this morning. I had a kidney stone,
just on the first day of the new year, and it was painful as fuck. So not great so far for the new year, but hopefully more to come. You know, PSG lost today, which is also a demise, but we just gotta move on. HH, 1 month away from a Champions League. We'll see.
Wait, what was that? 1 month away from Champions League. I don't understand.
Well, we're playing Bayern, and we're getting ready. We're trying to get ready now. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, so Ricardo, I'm leaving you back now because you told to be backstage. So I'm gonna leave you backstage, bro, you clown. So guys, let's get things going. Let's start off with this, man. So here's the thing, guys. Now look. Okay, let me ask RDS a question. So RDS, if you win 2 CLs, what does that mean as a club? If you win 2 CLs, RDS.
It means you have the same amount of CLs as Nottingham Forest, the team that you drew against.
Oz.
So if you think it was a fair result. If you think about it, 2 CLs for Nottingham, 2 CLs for Chelsea. So it is what it is. Just deep on that. Right. I think we should think about that.
So Eminence, where are Chelsea at, right? I mean, because Eminence, sack Potter is trending. Potter out is trending.
Can you pull up absolute Chelsea's Twitter page? Can you go on there? Just please. I'm
Eminence, you asked me a question. I'm asking you a simple question. Where did you go? I'm not pulling up. No, I'm not pulling up anything, bro.
I need to show
you go from here.
Listen, I have no idea.
Well, get an idea. Answer. Say something.
Let me land. Listen, I'm not even this team right now. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm actually this is the new year, and we already started playing bullshit again.
Okay, I don't. No. But my thing is that what happens now? Sack Potter. Stick with Potter. What should be the thing be? What?
Time.
Oh, give him time.
Yeah, give it. You give him a 6-year deal. So if you sack him, who are you gonna bring in?
Okay, let me ask you this: did you want when Tuchel was sacked? Did you want Potter?
It was my first. It was my first choice.
Potter was your first choice.
Yeah, my first choice. I don't know what I was thinking, but I said, yeah, bring Potter from Brighton. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, that was my first choice. And now,
okay, why were you thinking of bring the Brighton manager in to take over at Chelsea?
Because obviously I was sold in the whole Brighton and play great football, they're amazing, this and that. Chelsea are bigger than Brighton. I don't know what happened to me actually. I just was like, yeah, bring him in. He's gonna do the same at Chelsea. And you know what's worrying about Potter at Chelsea right now? His press conferences, This guy comes out, he goes, "Oh, the lads gave everything." What does that mean? The lads gave everything. After what does that mean, Can you explain that to me?
So now you've said that his interviews are not very good. You obviously not sold, but you still say stick with him because my thing is I didn't want Potter. So me saying sack Potter makes sense because I never wanted him. When he was hired, I was like, okay, he's here and so forth and everything, but I never wanted Potter. So my thing is that whose bright idea was it to actually hire Potter in the first place? That's my thing.
But my main issue is that I don't think managers are the issue at Chelsea. I think it's more the players, the playing staff. I don't think we have good enough players to go forward.
In your view, who should be sold? Who needs to be sold from Chelsea? In your view,
honestly, right now, Mendy, Koulibaly, who else is in our defense? I don't know. Aspilicueta,
okay.
Jorginho, Kante, who else? Pulisic, Aubameyang. Listen, I like Sterling, but if you can sell him, sell him.
So so we should keep Mount. Mount should be kept.
Yeah, let me land. I'm going through
I'm asking. I said I'm asking you a direct question. I said should Mount be kept here? Because you didn't mention Mount in all of these names, so Mount should be kept.
I'm not done. Gallagher, I'm not done. I'm coming. Gallagher, yeah. Mount, tell Mount as well. Tell Mount. Listen, I don't like these players. I don't like them. I really don't like these players. The only player that I like in this team is Thiago Silva. Can you imagine the best player in Chelsea right now, Thiago Silva and Reece James?
What about Louis Hall? Lewis Hall?
Eminence, don't answer.
I don't know, just he's a player,
I said don't answer the question.
Listen. We're not doing this now.
J2S, Chelsea, talk to me. The
I mean, only some clubs can
wait,
beat
hold on.
Nottingham
So
Forest.
Jesus, you're a United fan, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
My brother.
Yeah.
And so you know when in league now, what I think is it 10
Listen,
years
7 points gap. 7 points gap.
How many Champions League do you have again?
I'm talking to
Wait, how many
Jesus.
Champions League do you have again?
Jesus, I'm just saying that. So you haven't seen a major trophy for over 10 years. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
No comment.
I wanted to double check. I didn't want to.
What H is trying to say is that it's imperative that Chelsea beat City next week. Otherwise, they could be 10 points behind United, not even halfway through the season. That's what H is basically trying to say. J2S, go on and speak your point. Go on.
At this point, they're 18 points behind Lil Bro, so we'll see what happens though.
Bro, they're behind. They're behind.
Hold on. Jason, do you know what's funny? They'll always be little bro. So no matter how good they do, they'll always be little bro.
But you're not even just behind little bro. You're even behind little sis in Tottenham now. Like little sis as well. You know, so it's not great.
Okay. So
wait, you're not even the best club in West London. Fulham are above you.
It's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good.
Fulham above you. So you're the second best club in West London.
Fulham ahead of Chelsea.
They're seventh. Chelsea 8.
No, dear.
If you're in charge of Chelsea, would you sack Potter?
I mean, I don't know why you'd ever go from Tuchel to Potter in the first place.
I know.
Always a step down. Always a step down. I don't know what this. See, this Boehly guy, he thinks he can get things right, but then he always fucks it up, which I don't get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how you gonna drop half £500 million, and you've got worse?
Speak on
it. How does that make sense?
Yes, you talk to me, man.
You know, HH, when you're like, when you speak honestly about certain things, you're a great analyst. No, I'm just saying you're just a great analyst because you said it yourself. You hit the nail on the head. These players are garbage.
Yes, this is true.
And here's the thing: even the players that people think are good, they're mid-table players. That's what they are. Christian Pulisic is a West Ham player. It's honest. He's a good player, but he's West Ham. He's West Ham United, Aston Villa, Everton, mid-table player. Hakeem Ziyech, I love the dude, but still, he's still a mid-table player as well. These guys are not elite. These are like when you go back and think about
because you're saying that the players are the issue, not Potter.
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%. Because I see what Graham Potter did with dudes that we didn't even know about. The McAllisters and the Trossards and Danny Welbecks. I saw what he did. They were cooking. They were playing unbelievable football. This is garbage. And this has nothing to do other than the fact that these players you guys have are just not good enough. They cannot be coached. I feel like there's certain players out there, no matter how good of their talent is, if you just don't have a footballing brain and you can't be coached. These players cannot adapt to coaching philosophies. They simply can. The reason why Tuchel got them to a Champions League final, all that stuff, is because Tuchel at times could come in, tactically organize this team to be good defensively, and you guys end up winning something. But then when you ask them to actually coach this team so they could play patterns of football, have an actual structure, these players can't do it. These players can't do it. They just don't have the capacity for it. And that's just the honest truth. So the reality is you need to sell almost 90% of, like you said, throw away this whole team. Just throw away this whole team. Just throw away this whole team and start over again. It's that simple. And Chelsea fans, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna get
so I don't think it's that simple because you look at those players that they're buying right now. Are they really big names? Are they really exciting players to say the least? I mean, let's be honest.
But Delta, hold up. Delta, you hit the nail on the head. That's the problem. Stop going after names, you idiots. Go after a profile. Go after the players that he can coach. Who the hell was McAllister before we knew anything about him? Who the hell was Busuma that we made such a big deal about him? This is what Graham Potter does. Get players that fits his philosophy and you will cook. Stop going after names. Stop spending so much money. Stop wasting your money and time. Stop doing it. Become a real football club. That Roman Abramovich stuff that you guys used to do back then does not work anymore. Football has changed.
Yes, but the problem is what I think what Chelsea fans need to accept, right, is that the Abramovich era is over, and we need to see what would Chelsea Football Club like before Abramovich. Where were they? What were they doing,
etc.
etc.
I'll tell you where they were. Chelsea were winning FA Cups and Cup Winners' Cups before Abramovich. So don't let anybody feel like if Chelsea were speaking fluent trophy before Abramovich. Abramovich did not make Chelsea. Chelsea were winning trophies way before Abramovich. So don't promote that Bournemouth narrative.
But then okay. All I'm saying is, I'm not gonna lie to you. The evidence is out there how to run a proper football club and how to build a team. I'm not gonna lie to you. We clowned Arteta and Arsenal for buying Ben White, Ramsdale, Odegaard. The
issue is this: if Potter is giving his players and so forth, can you do what Arteta?
He will cook. Yes, Potter is a fantastic.
He's not.
No.
He's not as good as Arteta.
No. Guys, I'm not saying he's as good as Arteta, but I'm saying he is a fantastic coach.
No.
He's a fantastic coach.
This Chelsea are a team who go for the Premier League and the UCL every single season.
No, they don't.
If he's giving the players, can he win?
When was the last time you won the Premier League? Be real, bro. Like
more recently than United.
2017.
No. But be honest.
No. Yes. I'm asking you a question. More recently than Man United.
Bro, we're not talking about United. Why are you deflecting? Why are you deflecting? Why are you deflecting? Answer the question. Answer the question. When has you competed?
2017. More recently than Man United. A lot more recently than Man. So that's the point. Ricardo, talk to me. Chelsea.
2023. Same HH, man.
Look, it's a sad situation because you can throw so much money at a problem. You would hope that it will work out. Look, you guys will get Enzo Fernandez. That's not gonna be an issue. But well, Yasir said he's starting off the year strong. Let's give him some praise. He's being right. He's right. Just because you get Enzo Fernandez isn't gonna solve your issues. I don't think he's a profile that fits, but who knows? I may be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I like Enzo. But look, United. Not United. Sorry, Chelsea. Chelsea's ass. Well, United's ass too, but Chelsea's ass. For Chelsea.
How can Chelsea be asked when they won a few years ago? Interesting. As in that's the
question. That's the question.
Well, you can ask that question like, how the hell did you fall this far behind after winning the Champions? That makes no sense. Look at Real Madrid.
Well, this isn't over yet. Ricardo, this isn't over yet.
Okay, all right. Well, you guys are spending 9 digits every transfer window, and somehow you still get worse. That literally makes no sense. But like for Chelsea, like what I'm thinking when I look at Graham Potter, when I look at Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, who else is there? Antonio Conte, Mikel Arteta, and then a guy rolls in the big six named Graham Potter. Come on, there's no ring to that name. There's no way you can take a club serious with the.
Well, you're not insulting his name now.
But look, when we talk about the greats, the Peles, the Maradonas, the Messis, Cristiano Ronaldo, those names, they sound like footballing names. But I'm supposed to take a guy who's named Graham. That's Drake's last name. And then Potter, bro, come on. Potter is probably the most famous name in Britain just because of that guy who does wizard spells. Graham Potter, that's the guy who's supposed to lead Chelsea to glory. Bro, that's a fugazi name. He ain't leading Chelsea to shit. You guys screwed up by selling to Kelly back. It is what it is. Y'all are in the mud. I don't know how y'all.
So consider Chelsea should have never sacked Tuchel.
That's for sure. Yeah, for sure.
You
know what? I'll tell you this.
He lost the dressing room. He had to go. Like there are times when managers just have to go. See, because this is what I would say. Tuchel had to be sacked. I never said hire Potter. Potter was never on the agenda.
So wait. Who was your first choice then?
Pochettino.
No. My thing was that let's chill and wait. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. And let's
you don't have to wait.
Because you see, if you want to be real, Sarri should have never been sacked. It's those bombers, idiotic, ungrateful fans that forced Sarri. Sarri should have been kept there to establish the 4-3-3 foundation for several seasons.
I disagree. That guy would have had lung cancer by now with the amount of bogeys he was smoking on that sideline, man. Like that's the amount of stress was too much for Chelsea. Chelsea, they're done. Like they're finished. Let's be honest. They're not making champions.
Would you take Enrique, Luis Enrique?
Oh, for sure. You have to take Luis.
Let me think of it and get back to you. Sam, talk to me. Chelsea.
This is actually quite a funny situation. Obviously not for you, but yeah, for me. This was bound to happen. That Tuchel team that won the Champions League, that team was actually quite dead. That was all on Tuchel.
Yes.
And his tactical masterclass against Man City. Pep also bottled in it and not playing the CDM in the Champions League final. But anyways, moving on from that. That team was actually trash. And then you're moving on from Tuchel to Harry Potter. Harry Potter managing this team. That is a downgrade. So whatever Harry Potter, I keep on calling him Harry Potter. What's his name again? Graham? That one. Doing whatever he's doing, it's going to be at a lesser value than Tuchel, because Tuchel is just a better manager, whether you like it or not. Here's also a problem. You still have players from Sarri. Do you know how many managers Chelsea have had since Sarri? Sarri, Lampard, Tuchel, and then Graham Potter. Am I missing one? Was that it?
Yeah. So
that's four managers.
Yeah.
4 managers. That does affect the players a lot when you keep on having system changes after system change after system change. Then you got this owner that's playing FIFA Ultimate Team, buying players just like whatever he sees good, he's just buying it. I'm in a football terrace group chat, and all I'm just seeing from updates from the guys that are bringing in is just, oh, Chelsea have want to sign this player, Chelsea have signed this player, and it's just like, Boehly, you've got money. There's no doubt about it, but do you know what you're doing? Are these actual players that fit the system that Graham Potter wants to apply at Chelsea? So it's an actual mess. Like as in when I think about Chelsea, I'm confused. Like, where are you going? And now when you see the table, my goodness, you're below Fulham. To be fair, you got a game in hand, but your game in hand, I think it's against us, to be honest. But your next game is against Man City.
Whoa. Fulham. Whoa. What's going on? What is this?
Samuel, is it actually against City?
West Ham have a worse record.
Yeah, no, because I think we didn't play Chelsea.
Yeah, it was.
It's 21st of January 21st.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
But to be honest, their next game is against Man City.
Yep. Man City back to back.
Yeah.
I think
shout out
the
to Drake.
lingo, you say your lingo is fluent Champions League. I think it's now has to be Europa Conference League.
Yo, Sam, is Chelsea Fulham a 6-pointer? Is it?
No, it is. Yeah, I can't lie. It's a 6-pointer right now.
Wait, Sam, how many G's is Holland dropping? How many G's is he dropping?
Listen, I'm gonna hold back on that because I know every time
this
runs on this channel, we say that the one team is gonna absolutely smack one team. Haaland. It happened with Liverpool where everybody said that Man City were gonna whitewash Liverpool, and look what happened.
100%,
so Chelsea might even pull out a surprise.
No, City they'll win 6-0.
And Sam, don't be laughing too hard though. Don't be laughing too hard. You see what Liverpool is on the table. You know, don't.
I listen. I keep myself silent. We take it one game at a time. Man United, do not slip up.
No.
Man United, don't slip up.
Silent assassin.
Like Chelsea had to win those 2 games because Man City, it's Man City. So going into that Man City game, you're like, okay, if you can at least get that 6 points buffer, if it's a loss against City, or if it's a draw something.
That's the thing about it. You messed up against Nottingham Forest because I expected you to beat Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. And then, all right, if you get a draw against Man City, that's all right.
And then go to the other.
Now you messed up.
But that draw again has just messed everything up now because
City, Nottingham Forest is just
that's win. Obviously, Chelsea have to win. City also have to win with what Arsenal are doing as well. So it's a must-win game for both teams. So both teams cannot afford to drop points. So.
Exactly. Yeah, man, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Let me cook on this. Let me cook on this.
Mike, I don't appreciate that.
Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing?
You should bring up the AVI because
bro.
it is the team that. Oh yes, sir. We shouldn't talk about your Vikings.
Yeah,
Dodgers.
We're not doing that.
See,
I'm not watching the game.
Nah.
Yeah.
This is bad. You know how you were singing Arabian Nights, Arabian Days? So we went from that to Estonian Nights, Albanian Days.
But Mike, I'll say
because you're going to play in the Conference League.
If the Arabian Nights had come through, we would be like Newcastle now.
Are you sure? Because this is years of poor recruitment and poor scouting from Chelsea.
Mike, who hired?
And this is
Potter?
not because of Todd Boehly. This is because of Abramovich. No. This is because of Roman, the guy you love. He was doing a poor job in the last couple of years. Look at the Kai Havertz. What was it? 75 million. Kukurea, 50 million. These signings don't make any sense. There's no plan at Chelsea. It's just like, it is basically like Football Manager or just when you're playing FIFA, career mode. You just sign a bunch of players who's good, maybe got good promising, but shows no desire. And that's Chelsea right now. You guys are just poor in every department. Managers, probably cooks, security guards, players, staff, everything. Everything is poor at Chelsea.
How do you got all the money in the world and you can't fix your problems, man? That's crazy.
That's insane, bro.
So and now you're gonna spend. Okay, I love Enzo Fernandez. You're gonna spend 130 million.
God forbid, he's not worth that. God
He's
forbid.
not like, I love Enzo. He ain't worth that.
No, Michael. The release clause is 120, and they're still overpaying his release clause.
Exactly, because they're no, basically, Ricardo, they're paying more because they don't want to be
roasting session.
But Mike, that's how you ruin a player, though. Like, that's how you ruin a player.
Exactly.
What Chelsea do to Enzo Fernandez? That's how you ruin a player.
How you paying over the release clause? But you don't have to do that.
Don't worry, HH. If you want the #1 coverage for the Conference League, you know who to call. Your boy Michael. Because I'll give you the
shout out to
lowdown.
Mike,
Here, wait, guys. Here's some teams that were in the
no,
Conference
no,
League
Mike,
this season.
Mike, no,
Vaduz
Mike, we're
from
not doing
Liechtenstein, Slovako. What else was there? Shamrock Rovers. You guys
Mike is
remember
gonna
them?
have to Shamrock.
Shamrock
Mike,
Rovers.
No. Okay. Let me take
Cluj.
my gum right now. No, Mike. You see, this channel was built off the UCL. The very first
But
few videos
sometimes,
that
HH,
got
you
this
need a
channel.
new direction.
No, Mike, no, stop it.
You know, the UCL is
They
good.
need to
The Conference
rebrand.
League is the new thing. It's the new thing on the block.
What did you say? Yes,
They need to
what was
rebrand, you know?
Rebrand. We go from the UCL to the UECL.
No, here's the thing. Because
HH, new year, new me. New year, new me.
okay, here's the thing right now. I'm praying.
For what? You're gonna
I
get.
am-
You're gonna
because
get
my
7.
thing is that with all due disrespect, I can't do coverage. I can't do hardcore coverage of Europa or Conference League. If Chelsea end up in the Conference League, I think there are some big decisions that will have to be made. Going.
But very quickly, it is.
So basically,
But
I'm
we're-
right. No. Basically, no. Right now, what I'm saying is that I'm just praying. I'm praying. I'm praying for the best because I don't know whether I'll be able to face the social media if Chelsea end up in the Conference League or even lower. So because
But
Chelsea
I think you'll do that very fine.
Jamal,
I think
what?
you will do. Yeah, I think you'll deal with that very fine because I think you dropped a 40-minute documentary on Hazard when he won a certain competition. So I think you're accustomed with that competition.
That was the Europa League, not the Conference League. Jamal, I
Bro?
don't think we've seen the table. But
Tomato.
Wait, but yeah, I have to say, first I have to say Happy New Year's, everybody. And I hope we,
well, Jamal, let's say Happy New Year for everyone.
yeah,
Happy New Year for
and
everyone.
yeah, man, and I hope your channel do well, HH, because you know, you're a good guy, man. That's what I
Jamal, stop it. Get to the abuse. Get to the abuse. Stop
yeah,
it.
yeah, you know what's coming. HH, you know why? I don't feel sorry for you because you don't learn. Why do every time Chelsea do something, you always big this team up? HH, the only time you can celebrate is when you win. Bro, I was watching your Twitter feed. You was getting reckless again because you was linked with Enzo. I know you don't know the saying, but the guys who know the saying, you guys could relate. Big man thing, yeah? It's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Shout out Cancelo. HH, Said was spot on. He's correct. Football is going into an era when it's not about individuals again. It's about systems, and you need to get the players correct for your system. You can't be doing career mode, bro. You're doing FIFA career mode. You know these guys was linked to Mudryk because Arsenal was linked with him. These guys were linked to Enzo because Manchester United was linked with him. Bro, you're freestyling. There's no plan in your transfer policy. You need to sit down with Potter, let him find out the guys he wants, and bro, go from there. But I don't think that's going on, Chelsea. I think right now, Boehly is just watching the best players who is out there right now. He said, oh, Enzo had a good World Cup, let's buy him. Bro, it don't seem like a plan. But yeah, man, it's all I just want to say is, shout out FaZe, man. I don't know if you guys see that, but that was one of the worst all-time performances from a centre-back. Have you guys seen what that guy did? The David Luiz
Jamal,
looking
don't worry.
brother.
The payments went through. The payments went
Jamal
through.
and Sam, how much was he paid?
Yeah,
Jamal and
corruption.
Sam, how much
That
was he paid?
corruption.
Sorry, Jamal, Sam, and Mike. Jamal, Sam, and Mike, you freaking paid. See,
That was
now
so
you're not
funny,
paying.
man.
You're basically paying defenders to move you up the table. That's just cheap.
But
Okay,
he didn't even look remorse. You know what it is?
wait.
He didn't look like he did anything wrong. He just, whatever.
Because he was paid. Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Rob, why did you lose to Aston Villa 2-0?
Oh, that's the next team. That's the next team in
Rob,
problem.
why did you lose to Aston Villa 2-0, Rob?
Because the team is not very good. There's no squad depth. There are key injuries.
Was Harry Kane playing? He wasn't playing.
Bro, talk about your boy Son. That's what you need to talk about. Son is thinking.
Rob, was Harry Kane on the pitch? Yes or no? Was Harry Kane on the pitch? Yes or no?
Yes, he was playing, but Son had a disaster class.
Speak on it, Rob. Speak on it.
Well, Rob, I'm not going to ask you about Chelsea. I'm just going to hope that Tottenham make top 4 and so forth because you lost to Aston Villa. Because I know they can't.
Arsenal can win the league, guys. I know we're all over. Arsenal can win this league. Guys, we can't let that happen. I cannot live in a world where Arsenal win the league.
By the way, Jamal.
Jamal, here is where people might jump off a bridge. If Arsenal win the league and Chelsea don't qualify for the Europa League,
Eric, where's Eric?
Season.
I'm sorry for Eric.
No. Eric is going to cricket. He's going to cricket.
I missed the World Cup, man. I missed
Let
that.
me hear. So, Miles Olo, Potter out, clueless, yes man, no tactics, just vibes.
But I don't know why you guys hate on Potter though.
Here's the thing. Do you think he's going to be sacked?
No.
Okay,
Maybe.
Wait, hold on, Mike. If the
Maybe in
results
March.
continue to get bad,
He signed a 6-year contract. You don't just sack someone. You just
Mike,
gave
here,
a
okay, no, I
6-year
know, but Mike, this
contract.
is what I said. If Chelsea 9th, 10th, they continue to lose and so forth. So you think so? Regardless,
You have to stick with him, bro.
I think
Look
he
at
stays.
Arteta.
Yeah, look at Arteta. Where was
But
he?
Mike,
wait. We're Arsenal like in 17th position in the
Yes.
2021 season, and
Yep,
they kept
they
going
will.
with him. So HH,
Yep.
they're gonna trust him, and this is how it's gonna be for Chelsea. So are we actually saying that Chelsea are gonna pick up 1 win in the next 5 games?
But Mike, here's the
Damn.
issue though. Here's the issue. If we say Todd Boehly does not know what he's doing, then he sacks Potter. He really does. And that's the test for that. The test is not about Potter and anything. The test is about your owner. If Todd Boehly knows what he's doing, he's not gonna sack him. But if he doesn't know what he's doing, he's just doing whatever, like career mode or whatever we're talking about, then the guy is gonna cave into the pressure. He's gonna sack him.
AJ, wait, hold on, AJ. CFC 8th. HH speaks fluent.
Mid-table.
So,
And can you bring up the table again, H? Very quickly. I just want to see something. Very quickly. Sorry. Yeah, I want to check your goal scored. I think you scored 18 goals. I think Haaland has scored more goals than your club.
Haaland has 21 goals.
Thank you, Jamal.
By the way, Jamal, shout out to you, bro. I'll be watching Cupish, bro, and then shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
Facts, bro.
Jamal, Zoting TV, man. Tad B that took lives. Harry Potter ball is a myth. Well, I never promoted Harry Potter ball and everything like that. So
I
don't
did.
know what you
I
said.
still
So,
vouch with Potter, bro. He's a great, fantastic coach, bro.
the truth sets the hope on fire. Mid-table coach and staffs expecting top 4. Hashtag conference. Well, the season isn't over yet, so let's wait until the season ends first. Thank you. Have Hopes cost tweets. Taking it with each game, game by game. Ella. Oh man. So now there's a guy now getting my tweets now, clown. Wing. I'm outside the Emirates. You see, do you know Wing? You know Wing might be the most shameless football fan on the planet.
That's just shameful. That's just shameful. That's
Is
just
that him or
So
Paul?
this is, you're willing to go to a rival based on what's happened. Wing, you're a disgrace, man. You're a disgrace.
Imagine he goes to the parade if they win the
Someone
league.
used my account to praise kindness.
You know what's the scary thing, guys? Odegaard has more talent in his left too than this whole Chelsea team.
That's insane, bro. That's insane.
Okay. Hold on. Who do you think Chelsea's worst player is? Anyone, jump in. Who do you think Chelsea's worst player is?
That's a tough
I know.
Sam.
Gallagher. There was something that I saw on the pitch that I couldn't believe a professional footballer did. How do you lose the ball without any pressure? I don't even think Nunes could do that.
Wait, hold on. No. Wait, Sam, I got you, man.
Easy. We move in silence.
But yeah, Gallagher.
Maybe there's a ghost of a Lampard or something. I don't know.
Oh my god, man.
Maybe it's juju. You know, I don't know.
Okay, wait, hold up. QC8. HH, should we call the police? Lil bro abuse. Well, they're not really okay, can I just say one thing right now?
18,
it doesn't matter
though.
what Arsenal do until Arsenal can give me one UCL.
No, you can't do that. You can't
They
do
will
that.
always be
AG.
Lil. No.
Because
Yes, it's not a Lil Pro. No, come on. I'm sorry. You can't be called a big club if you've never won a UCL. I'm sorry.
It's not in the Forest won two,
They will
though.
always be a little bro. They will always
They
be a
won
little
this,
bro.
but Nottingham Forest won the same as Chelsea. So what are we saying, though? What are we
Have
saying?
Nottingham Forest won any Champions Leagues?
We know, Champions League.
There we go.
You know,
They've never won a
it's the
Champions
same-
League. No.
Tomatoes.
They have
you know?
0 Champions Leagues. They got 0 Champions League. Thank you.
Okay.
Alhambra. Thank you very much, Alhambra. We need a manager that sets standards and that delivers consequences when they aren't met. If Potter is backed, then he should have the confidence to drop players. He clearly doesn't have cojones. Here's my thing. People say, oh, he needs the right players. He needs the right players. I don't think I've ever seen Potter angry or generally angry or disappointed with what the guys do. I've never seen him shout. And the issue is, I think that for Potter, it's like if he's in, it's, you know what? It's as if he's like a Beyonce fan and he just entered Beyonce's house. I said, oh, wow, blow. This is amazing. So for him, he's like a kid in a candy store.
So he's happy to be there, is it?
He's happy to be there. Because this is amazing for him. And my thing is, no, Chelsea need a guy to be like, Mount, get out. Sterling, get out. Gallagher, get out. They need Jorginho, get the hell out. But for him, he's like, oh my gosh, Jorginho, Mount, these are so many amazing players. And you can't have that. So for him,
that's a point.
And
Actually,
I think that's the biggest issue.
I think Aubameyang is the worst player, bro. That guy is so bad.
I think Koulibaly, man.
Have you seen Gallagher? Have you seen Mount?
No, Gallagher is bad, but Aubameyang, like the guy is just.
Yes, I've been trying to get rid of Mount for the last 3 years. Bro. It is what it is. The truth is open fire. Exclusive Conference League 2022.
It's all right, HH. I got you. We'll do a duo on that. I'll give you the lowdown on Shamrock Rovers.
Mike, with all due disrespect,
it's Conference League 7.
Illegal Adoption Center will be here to report rap. Okay, let's not.
But don't lose both games though. Don't lose both games. At least win one of them.
TV. Potter is bad, but we need to talk about Conte.
Yes,
he's leaving.
Yes,
Conte's a fraud.
No, we need to talk.
Rob, it's getting deep. Rob is getting real.
Wait,
shout out to your boy. Mike. What's your name?
I was just gonna say, where did you have Tottenham in the Premier League this season?
Shout out to your boy QC8. How do you QC8? Enzo going from World Cup to Conference League. Is it?
That's insane. That's insane.
Right. Thank you for that. Ciniac. H, I hope you collect a montage of CFC bands before we ruin the live in 2 to 3 years. It sounds crazy now, but people don't understand. 2000's evil CFC is back.
What evidence? Are we just are we just gonna ignore what Arteta is doing at Arsenal or Man United doing at Ten Hag?
Have they won the league yet? Have Arsenal won the league yet?
Bro, what have you done for me lately, though? Why you always talk about the past?
Yes,
have you won a treble in your career?
A season is 38 games.
Chelsea have never won a treble. Man United have.
A season is 38 games. Thank you.
You know what, guys? I miss the World Cup, but I miss these conversations, man. I miss these.
What a way to start the new year, man. Wow. Chelsea got the only Potter from Slytherin. 3 wins in 10. Oh. Wait, 3 wins in 10? Are you sure?
Yeah, that's true. It's
Yep.
true.
Relegation.
Oh, Lord. AR. So, HH, does this mean you'll be covering Potter Ball in the Europa Conference League next season?
That's insane.
So, AR, I know you sound your club because you asked AR, you'll always be little bro. You'll always be a little bro. AR, do you know what a Champions League looks like? AR, what did Henry do in 06 in the final? Disaster class.
By the way, CR Kelly is playing this Thursday, by the way. Because I know you're going to be covering the Saudi league.
Wait. How do you know this? You know this guy, Delta. You're such a hater.
I was just saying. No, I was giving him a heads up.
United 11 wins. 11 losses, 2 draws, 2 wins. in the last 15. Oh, that's not good. In the last 15 EPL
We won 11
Rashford,
games.
11 losses, 2
We only
draws,
lost 2.
2 wins.
Rashford, man.
In the
Rashford
last,
is looking good.
man, that's pretty crap from us. What's going on there? 11 losses, 2 draws, 2 wins.
But we're still above you. They don't have Gakpo, but anyways.
Marcos Ballon d'Or, Rashford.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
El Mejor Rincon. The key is team and manager dynamic. A top manager comes in and shakes things up to fit a style. See Hang, Pep Arteta. Drop CR37, Oba, Hearts. Bro, I don't think this guy has the cojones, man. That's my issue with. He said, "Oh, give Potter time." I just don't think he has the cojones. Lauren Rout. CR7 has a chance to win the World Cup 2020. Let's know. All right, let's know.
Nah. That's wild.
I mean, that rule would apply more to Mbappe because
Delta, shut up. Just relax.
You said to World Cup.
Delta, just...
That's insane.
Let me think on Chelsea real quick.
Okay, real quick, before we go to this discussion, talk to me.
Guys, how bad was Tuchel really? Let's be honest.
Nah, he was bad.
Dynamo
He lost to Dynamo Zagreb.
Last time I checked, he finished top 4 last season, and
Dynamo
Potter
Zagreb.
right now.
That's what no, actually Dynamo Zagreb.
You keep saying, "Oh, Dynamo Zagreb." You guys lost. You guys barely beat freaking what's it called?
Forest.
Whatever. Salzburg. You barely beat Salzburg, really? And you want to compare that to Dynamo Zagreb? Like, be real, because right now you're at a point where, because let's be honest, Potter's they're going to be there for the next 5 years. Let him finish 17th.
5 years? That's a long time.
What did he say? Let him finish 17th.
You don't understand. Boehly had this
I don't
in mind.
want that. I don't want that on my portfolio.
Boehly had this in mind before Tuchel even got sacked. He was thinking, "Oh, I'm getting Potter once Tuchel fucks up." And now, bro, it is dark times right now because bring Enzo Fernandez to this club, you guys will ruin him.
We have World Cup winners. We have transfer Cup winners. And what's it called? So, Rob, really brief. So, talk on Chelsea. Make it really brief, Rob.
About what exactly?
Chelsea's situation. Should we sack Potter? What should we do moving forward? And Tottenham lost 2-0 to Aston Villa. Kane dropped 0 goals. Kane go for it.
Well, I think that Chelsea shouldn't sack Potter yet, and I don't think they will. They have a long-term plan, and I think that he is going to back him for the long term. So I think he's very talented, and Chelsea should stay with him for now. But I also think that Chelsea have a lot of mismatch in terms of players because they have players all the way back from Di Matteo still in the team with Azpilicueta.
Wait, stop.
Wait, hold on. Is he Rob? Rob, don't see Rob. Is he
Same reaction.
Rob,
I like that reaction.
Azpilicueta wasn't playing for Di Matteo, so stop that, Rob.
He joined Chelsea in 2012.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's correct.
Okay, Rob, continue to cook, man.
You gave him a new contract, by the way.
But I think that a lot of players at Chelsea are not good enough. A lot of players don't fit the way that Potter wants to play. So I think that Chelsea need to back him. They need to have a really good director of football, and they need to sign players that fit Potter. And they have to sell a lot of the players that are not good enough, that don't fit the way he wants to play. So I think because you have a lot of players that are just not good enough, or the finish, like Aubameyang, for example, he looks really bad. It looks like he can't score to save his life right now. And I think that Chelsea need better players, and they need players that fit the manager better.
Rob, that's why we're trying to get Enzo, Neymar, and at least 3 or 4
Neymar, excuse?
Felix, Neymar? These guys ain't coming. You're getting body shit.
Neymar.
No, look, just chill. Hold your horses. Alhambra. Evil 2000 Chelsea is not back. The Brahms sacked Ranieri and brought in Mu, who beat Man U 1-0 in his first league game. Ooh, I remember that. And we brought through Serie from Cobham. Today we have Potter and Chalobah.
Chalobah. That's hilarious.
No. Look, as I said again, it's worrying times. Or let's say Alhambra. I pray and hope for the best for this season. All I do is just pray and hope for the best, because if Chelsea finish 8th or 9th, I don't know. I can't live in that world, bro. CFC to get top. Okay.
Like I said, HH, you have to trust the process.
No, Mike,
Yes.
thank you. Colo 99 man. I actually think Chelsea's dollars hurts them. Instead of trying to work
Yes.
things out, they sack the coach and buy 5 new players. Money is a false safety net. You see, you know what? I think I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna delete that whole Todd B gift thing.
Nah, don't delete it.
You have to keep it.
That's
I'm
legendary.
gonna delete the whole thing. Like for me, I'm only gonna call him Todd B if Chelsea either win the league. But here's the thing: if Chelsea win the UCL. That's all I'm saying.
You know
if
that's
Chelsea
possible.
win the, because remember,
That's possible.
Chelsea have done that before. Chelsea are the
actually
masters
have.
of finishing 10th and winning the UCL.
Guys,
That's what I'm saying.
we cannot allow Chelsea to win the Champions League this season, please.
Mike, you know what's the worst thing is?
They lost into Dortmund.
Because if Chelsea, bro,
You're lost into Dortmund, bro.
Look, he's already getting hyped up.
No, but Mike, you know what's
Just
the
to lose
worst?
to Dortmund.
No, hold on. Chelsea not going to win the UCL. Like, well,
No, but Mike, the worst thing is it's set up. It's like, look, Bayern are playing PSG. One of them are going to lose.
Yes, yeah.
Liverpool are playing Real Madrid. One of them is going to get out.
Yes, yeah. It's time for the ghost talk.
No, don't worry, yes, sir. Mukoko will knock out Chelsea. Don't worry, he'll do it.
Okay, guys, let's make this happen.
I'm waking up early, but I haven't been there.
All right, peace out.
And Maradona's the goal.
Thank you. Yes,
Messi.
Okay. So let me hold that straight marker right now. So, guys, let me present my case here. Oh, and then Bomber Zeman has to get into practice. Here's the thing. So
Zidane shouldn't be in this conversation, if we're being honest.
Okay, I don't know.
Come on,
I don't know why a certain Peruvian is talking while the host is talking, but it is what it is. So there was a moment in which I was going to crown him the GOAT.
Don't do this.
The moment. Let me cook. Because you know what? I have a newfound respect.
Like a white woman.
I have a newfound respect for a certain dude, because this guy single-handedly made this debate alive. So I'm going to talk about the dude. The moment Messi made it 3-2, that was it. I was about to say, you know what?
You're such a liar.
He has scored.
You gotta find something else.
No, hold on. He scored the winning goal. He did his thing. I was like, there's nothing I can say. It's the winning goal. It's the iconic moment. It is the definitive. So you were the definitive iconic moment reason, singular reason. You had that singular moment of winning it for him. It was dramatic. And that dude had to go and mess it up.
Shut up.
Because and by Mbappe doing that, he kept the debate alive. Because what the story now have is Mbappe has been the scourge of Messi always. Because in 2018, it was Mbappe. And again, Mbappe just had to say, you know what? Messi, this ain't fully your story. Because what that is right now is Argentina came through, not Messi. Messi, he did his thing, but Mbappe kept him responding. So where we have it right now is this. This is the reality of the matter. The overall GOAT is Pele. Because the argument is this. The argument is this.
I hope this is not that tax. I hope this is not that tax.
It's rip tax. It's rip tax.
No. Here's the thing. Because my thing here is that if you're to be the undisputed 100% great, it means that there's nothing anyone else can do afterwards to usurp it. What if a player in 50 years' time is amazing for 20 years, wins 20 Ballon d'Ors, 3 World Cups, and 20 UCLs? Then he's over Messi. What Pele has done can never be replicated. What Henry did can never be replicated. What Jordan did can never be replicated.
Give me a break.
So because of that, so due to that whole point, they are fully the GOATs forever because there's nothing anyone else can do.
You're so old, bro.
Can I let me land? Let me land. We will all have a chance to talk. We'll all have a chance to talk. Thank you.
Take your medications.
I love that. So there's nothing anyone else can do because of Pele. You cannot see why the World Cup is such a big deal. And with 2 WCs under his belt and him being the reason why football is what it is, objectively speaking, he is the GOAT because he is the overall father of football. But I've always said this, that my GOAT for me personally is Maradona because, and this is what I always ask people, Messi, he did it. He entered the convo, 100%. He's fully in the convo. He's allowed in the club. But all because you're allowed in the club doesn't mean that you get treated the same in the club. Iniesta is in the club. But Iniesta, you don't get the same. You don't get the same treatment as Pele or Maradona or even maybe Messi. Although, let's talk, because Iniesta did score the World Cup winning goal. Let's keep it real. He scored the World Cup winning goal. So
he's never won a Ballon d'Or.
Who cares about Who cares about that Bombers Ballon d'Or? No one cares about that Bombers.
Zidane won it. R9 won it.
I don't care about Delta. Ballon d'Or doesn't come into this GOAT convo. So my thing here is, and I ask the audience this: what is Messi's iconic World Cup moment?
Oh my God!
What he did against Croatia, bro? What you on about?
Jamal, stop it! Jamal, stop it! No, because
it wasn't a semi-final.
Hold up, Jamal. Jamal, are you honestly telling me that thing he did on Vardiol is to the level of Maradona's goal against England or Pele dropping a two-piece as a 17-year-old? And that's the issue, because for me, there is, first of all, it took you 5 tries. 5 tries.
Oh, you're petty, bro.
5 tries. I'm sorry, 5 tries.
You're a hater, bro.
You know, so my thing is, no, 100%, you got it. No, Argentina got it done. You just helped. You helped to contribute.
You know what, HH,
like Maradona did.
HH, so what is your top 5? What is your top 5?
We'll all go around. So in my view, my thing is, Pele is the objective GOAT, because Pele is the Michael Jordan and Ali of football, and he can never be replicated the way he did. My personal GOAT is Maradona because of what he did for Napoli, and because Maradona took scraps to success. Maradona never had the help that Messi had. Is what it is. Messi got carried by Maria.
In the final.
So you're gonna give us your objective GOATs or your personal GOATs?
Let me. So Yasia, talk to me. GOATs. Where do you stand on this whole thing? And then I'm not going to.
He's gonna say Pele.
Ricardo, shut up, you stupid loser. So Yasia, talk to me.
Yeah.
You always have to clear your throat, man.
So it's Minnesota, so some weird viruses be going around, but you know what I mean?
Okay, all right, thank you.
For me, I don't see. Here's the thing, I think the best player I've ever seen play this game is Messi. He's just the best. Like in terms of everything, in terms of football, he's the best I've ever seen play the game. But I think when it comes to the GOAT,
can people stop spamming LL in the live chats, please? Thank you. So,
but I think when it comes down to the GOAT, it's gonna be Pele for me as well. I just feel like when it comes to the GOAT,
cringe.
I look at it like as like a totality. I think what Pele, the way he transcended football, is never gonna be matched ever again. So that's just the honest truth. And when every time like I speak to like people about football, the older generation, they will always stick by Pele, and they're very adamant about Pele being better than Messi as a footballer. I don't know about that. That seems a bit too much for me. But then like when you see what he actually has done, the way he impacted the game when he was 17 years old, the way he changed the game when he was 17, actually, that's insane. Like the stuff we praise.
He was 17. Like that's what people say. This is for me. I mean, yes, that's what people say. That's greatness. A 17-year-old bowling against grown men. That's great. See, my thing is that's greatness. It's greatness, bro. Continue.
No, I just for me it's like, and that's just my objective view about it. If people are gonna argue about Messi being the GOAT because he's the best player of all time, okay, then that argument seems valid because Messi is the best player of all time. But when we talk about greatness, I feel like greatness is just a different, two different words, two different meanings. And when talk about the GOAT, the greatest of all time, it's Pele, and then everyone else is just secondary.
Yes, sir. Here, this isn't the most influential player. This is the best player. All right. So,
but then
if we want to talk about influence, we're gonna have Corey.
The GOATs.
But then that's what
we want to talk about. Listen. If we want to talk about influence, then Cruyff has to be like top 2 or top 3. This isn't. This is about
Delta. This is the greatest player, not the most greatest manager thing. But in terms of what you did footballing wise and how and what.
But I don't like that.
His point.
And also, is it really Cruyff or is it Michel?
No, but
who actually invented that whole
Cruyff
thing.
Because
So
if you want to talk about skills, I mean, if you're rating Pele doing it against farmers and all that, then you gotta rate.
Okay. Well,
that's if we're going that way.
But guys, the argument you guys are making is because he's better player. Guys, no one's arguing that Messi is I think Messi is the best player of all time. Like,
No,
that's
that's
no
a strong
debate.
argument. Yeah,
That's like no, I think that's like Messi is
Pele
best.
has an argument, to be fair.
But for
Yeah,
me,
no,
it's
no,
like
but
we're talking
Pele's
about
up
the
there.
greatest. It's like your impact in the game, guys. Let's be honest. Like the impact in Pele's game is far above anyone, and that's what greatness is.
But hold on. Let me actually bring up this thing because it's actually because see, we're doing this just for the sake of a debate because I always love a debate.
HH, can I cook?
But wait, hold up. So this guy's and this is the key says that we can't compare individuals across different generations. And you see, we're doing this because we love to love football and love to debate. But honestly speaking, each generation had its because remember, football was different in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. In 20 years' time, football will be different. So in 30 years' time, guys will be like, oh my, so how can we rate Messi and Ronaldo when they're playing by those rules back in the 2000s? So my thing is that how do you rate a Garrincha to like a Maradona or a Maradona to a Messi? How do you do that?
My problem is you're making this argument after Messi won the World Cup. Like I never seen you make this argument before that. Like you've always you're assessing it.
Mbappe ruined it. Ziman, I told you, if Messi had scored that winning goal, no, Ziman, I promise you, Ziman, I promise you, Ziman, I promise you.
I respect the hustle.
Ziman, I promise you. Zima, I promise you, I was ready to make him the goal.
No.
When he scored the winning goal, Mbappe, he ruined it. I'm sorry, he ruined it. He ruined the whole thing.
But here's the thing. Your debate, your argument.
Okay, wait, one at a time. Ziman.
No, your argument went from he's not the GOAT because because what is it? Mbappe showed up in the World Cup, and then you try to go back to the whole World Cup campaign and tell me that this Argentinian side helped them throughout the knockout stage and group stage when he was literally carrying them.
Ziman, stop it. Ziman, stop it. Wait, hold up. What we're not going to do, what we're not going to do is... Hold up, Ziman. What we're not going to do is say that Messi carried this very talented Argentina team.
Somebody, please go back to those tweets that he made.
Do you know why I don't? Because do you know why I don't like that? So we're not going to discount what Emi Martinez did. Are we going to do that?
That's not the point. You noticed that this team couldn't function without him. Like you noticed that. Like he was the main
Emi Martinez literally won that semi-final. I'm sorry.
Messi didn't
Messi played a major role. Messi played a major role. He didn't carry this team like Maradona in '86. He didn't. Okay, Abdul. Let me come to Abdul.
Bro, let me talk, bro. Please, man. Bro, because the thing is, I wasn't even on the 5-hour stream, bro. I didn't even come on. You guys, I haven't even spoken about this final whatsoever, bro. I haven't spoken about it, bro. Let me talk for once because this narrative that you're building is so stupid, bro. And I don't understand why nobody has pointed this out. Nobody. Like, the thing you're saying, like, the whole point you're making that Mbappe ruined it for Messi. If anything, Mbappe made it even greater for Messi.
Oh, we did say that. He's just not taking it as an answer.
Mbappe made this game the best final ever.
That's true.
No, Abdul. He didn't ruin it for Argentina. He ruined it for Messi.
Let me learn. He made it so that Messi got crowned the champion of the world in the greatest final of all time. Of all time. He made this because if this had finished 2-0, nobody would have spoken about it after a week. This is a historical final where Messi got crowned, and it's a historical event because Mbappe, he added to it. He added to the narrative. He added to the story. And let's be honest as well. Wait. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. is so shameless. If Mbappe hadn't scored that brace, Messi would have ended that game with just a penalty goal. And he would have said, "Oh no open play goal, final goal, no open play final goal."
This is true.
No, this is 100% true.
Yeah. You're a hater. You're a hater. You're a hater.
Abdul, Abdul, I get the point that you're making and so forth. But the thing though is you don't have a point. And he contributed to what it is. 100% he contributed. But the fact is the Messi story. The definitive moment was Emi Martinez making that save and obviously
you're
Montiel
so
scoring the
cringe. You're
winning
so
penalty.
cringe.
So
You're so cringe,
because Abdul, here's the thing. What is the definitive moments of the O2 final?
Oh my god!
How are you still in the
Ronaldo's
title,
wait, hold on. The definitive moment is Ronaldo scoring those
He got
two
carried by
goals.
Rivaldo.
It's him. What's the definitive moments of the 86 final? Who made the key pass to Buruchaga in the 86 final? It's Maradona. So Abdul, the issue is that Abdul, the praise. Wait, hold on, Abdul.
You asked me
the praise should be.
Let me ask you the question. So you're telling me the person who didn't score in a game of 5 goals in 86 was more decisive than a guy who scored a brace in the final?
Can I respond?
Yes.
And my response is one of those was a penalty won by Di Maria, who was actually the best player on the pitch, and the other, cool, but that goal was cancelled out by your boy Mbappe.
What about
so the issue is the definitive moments of 86 was Maradona's pass that led to the winning goal. So Maradona contributed to the winning moment. Messi had the winning moment, but Mbappe ruined it. So again, Argentina.
But that makes no sense.
Argentina triumphed. But the whole thing of like Messi had the defensive moments was ruined by Mbappe. Hence why Mbappe was always there to be the villain.
But it's your issue though.
If Messi
who are your top five?
Wait. If Messi hadn't scored, they wouldn't have gotten to penalties.
But
can
I say something quickly, guys? Here's the issue I have with HH with your logic and your reasoning. The issue is, and the issue that everyone has, is that you come up with these issues and problems after the fact. You said that
it wasn't.
No, it was because you said Messi hasn't scored. You kept saying Messi hasn't scored a knockout goal in the World Cup. He scored in every round. Okay, check. You said he hasn't shown up in a World Cup semifinal. He showed up in a World Cup semifinal against Croatia. Check. You said he hasn't show up in the final. He scored 2 goals in the final. Check, and he won the final. So like, what? There's nothing else you can say. So now you're coming up with something else. It doesn't make sense.
Okay. Yes, my thing is that what Messi did, that's how we have before he won the World Cup. I said you can't even have this discussion. So I wasn't even opening myself to the discussion before he won the World Cup. After he won the World Cup, we are not here. Let's not have that real discussion. So once we're not having the discussion, now we're now saying, what does Pele have? What does Maradona have? What does Messi have? And what is what I said in my video. This GOAT talk. It's what are your parameters? People's parameters for Messi could be like consistency, talent, all the major titles. Now, the issue with titles is Europe were bombs in the 60s, so you can't use us against Pele. So that's a moot point. But you can still say that my parameter is consistency. That was Messi. My parameter is, can he take a bunch of bombs and elevate them? Which is what Maradona did for Napoli and Argentina in 86. That's why he is great, because of what he did for those two teams who were bombs. And he single-handedly elevated a bunch of bombs. But other guys can say Pele because of how he popularized the sport and how he expanded the sport of football. So it's all down to what your parameters are.
But HH, look at the players for Argentina. No one knew who Macalso was. Let's be honest. Romero is
bro. Otamendi
was a bum.
Yes, Di Maria.
Moving the goalpost.
But Di Maria has been injured for you for a long time. So
guys, I'm sorry. Mbappe forced us into this convo. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I wish he didn't. Trust me. I was ready to crown him. Mbappe messed everything up.
All right. Let me cook. Let's get back on topic first of all.
Yes.
I don't know why we're stuck on this World Cup thing. Okay, so between the 4 guys you've chosen, let me just talk about
Zidane.
Zidane.
Not in there.
Let me just talk about
Oh,
Zidane
hell yes, he is.
He's not in there. For what? What did he do?
Zidane's
the 3 greats.
Bro, let me
Zidane
is not in there.
Puts him in our whole thing.
He's the waiter.
Zidane, shut up, Ricardo.
Literally
Have
the
your
waiter,
points.
bro.
Ricardo made points.
All right, let me just
in the final, man.
Let me just talk about Zidane real quick. I think Zidane's one of the best players I've ever seen with my own eyes. Keyword best, because I've seen him play and his ability to play. He's one of the best. There's no doubt. I'm not denying that he's probably top 5 ever in terms of playing with the ball. But in terms of greatness, he's up there too. But when we're comparing him to Messi, Pele, and Maradona, unfortunately, he doesn't sit in the same
Ronaldo, CR7?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a World Cup. Anyways, with Zidane, he's played in 3 Champions League finals and he's lost 2 of them. So he has a losing record in the Champions League, and he lost 2 of them back to back with Juventus. You gotta take that into account.
He only has 3 league titles in his entire career: 2 with Juventus and 1 with Real Madrid. I mean, we're gonna talk about the teams he's playing on. Come on, and hasn't been only won 3. No, we can't discount league titles. Let's not do that.
Keep going.
Because
for Barca, they have Iniesta.
No, look, because at the time when Zidane was playing, you're an old head. You know this for a fact. The league titles were actually worth a lot, way more than they were now. So we have to hold that against them. As much as I like Zidane as a player, he wasn't consistent, and you know that to be true. He was not consistent. So you have to, if we're gonna say that as a pro for Messi, we have to use it as a con for Zidane. Now, his glory came with the national team. This is why I'll give him massive praises, because we're looking at guys like Johan Cruyff, like Eusebio, even Cristiano Ronaldo. They played for countries that have never won the World Cup. And let's be honest, in 1998, France had never won a World Cup, and he was the leader for France to deliver their first World Cup, right? So that's massive. Like, that first World Cup is always going to be bigger than a third or a fifth or a sixth. It is what it is. So you have to give him that. That's what pretty much elevates him. Not to mention the European Championship, which is obviously a huge. But then when you're comparing him to, like, Pele, Maradona, and Messi, it's a whole different conversation. I think out of all 3 of those guys, like, I'll say this right off. I'll preface this. You already know who my GOAT is, all right? But it doesn't matter. Objectively, what that tweet said is right. Comparing players of different generations, it fundamentally makes no sense, because every era has there's different rules, different technology, different tactics, different formations. Every position has a different purpose now. Like, wingers like 20 years ago aren't the same wingers today. Like, fullbacks don't even defend anymore. Like, if we're being honest, they're offensive players. So you can't really, the sport is just completely different. Out of all those 3 guys, I will admit that Maradona has accomplished the highest degree of difficulty, because he's done more with less quality players. And that's something I can say Maradona and Pele have never done, because we're going to be honest, Messi and Pele have never done, because if we're going to be honest, Messi has always played in a great team, which Barcelona, and even this PSG team is pretty stacked. I'll say that his career with Argentina is flip-flop. There's been times he had great teams, and there's been times he has bad teams. For Barcelona, like 90% of his career at Barcelona, he's had a great team. Maybe you can say the last 2 years at Barcelona, they were really bad, way below the level he's been used to. So there's that. Maradona hasn't consistently played on great teams. But you have to put it against him that even on teams he has played on, he was actually a detriment to the team, and that's why he's gotten kicked out, hence Barcelona. He's also played for a great Boca Juniors side, and he said himself that if he wasn't on freaking cocaine, he would have done a lot more for Boca Juniors, so we can't ignore that. Now, obviously, his thing comes with Napoli, and it comes with Argentina. I think people tend to forget how bad that Napoli team was before he arrived. He didn't win right off the bat. I think it took him like 2 years before he actually won that first league title. That alone is incredible, because we're talking about the best league in the world by far in Italy, by a mid-table team, and won against the giants of Juventus and AC Milan, and he did it twice. And then there's a World Cup. To me, he still stands as the greatest performance of all time in a World Cup. What Messi did was incredible, but Maradona is still clear. He's still number 1 best performance ever.
Ricardo, I have a question. Do you think Messi or Pele can do what Maradona did for Napoli? Just a question aside.
No.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
No, hold on. I think obviously it's hypothetical, but if I'm being honest, I don't think so, because majority of Messi's and Pele's career, they have been catered to a great team, a team that's well surrounded around them. We've seen with Maradona factually that he hasn't. He's done more with less. So I would argue that Messi and Pele wouldn't be able to do what Maradona has done. And that's not even to mention the personality that Maradona have done that Pele and Messi don't have. That type of personality is a personality that that will literally do wonders with scraps. So I personally don't think Pele and Messi would have done it. Now moving on to Pele, bro, his career at Santos is completely undeniable. Like H just said, South American football at the time was the best football in the world. They would consistently go to Europe, and they would beat the brakes off European teams. So he has 2 Copa Libertadores titles, which in my honest opinion, I think is a bit. I mean, if you're really the greatest of all time, you should have dominated Compton, if we're being honest. But 2 is still good. And the fact that they hadn't won it since Neymar, I think it shows the levels he's elevated Santos. Now, the World Cup is where this is where Pele's legacy is tied to, the World Cup, like mainly the World Cup. He has 3 World Cups. We all know about
2.
one of. Okay. We'll say what the resume says. The resume says 3 World Cups. In '62, he played 2 games. He got injured against England. No, it was
Czechoslovakia.
it was Czechoslovakia, but that was the 3rd game. So he didn't even play against England, I believe. So he got injured in that game. And then we all know the story. Garrincha went on and did what he did. So let's just, for the sake, we'll talk about 2 World Cups, right? I know people have said that Pele has never been the best player at a tournament. That's actually factually incorrect because they've actually never had best player of the tournament award before 1974. So the last World Cup he won was the last World Cup where they didn't have it. In 1958,
I thought Garrincha was.
No, he never. No,
They didn't have it back then, bro.
They didn't have
They
that
never
award
had,
back
okay.
then. In 1958, he won he won Young Player of the Tournament. However, even though he showed up in the quarters, semis, and finals, he didn't play any of the group stage games. And we can't act like as a 17-year-old he carried the team because he had Nilton Santos, he had Didi, he had Vava, and he had I think Garrincha was on the team too. So he had a star-studded team. But don't get me wrong, he did his bit. But was he the best player on that team? No, he wasn't. That's a fact. It kind of reminds me of, in a sense, of Kylian Mbappe. He had Pogba, Conte. He had, Umtiti at the time was good. Griezmann was good and stuff like that. And then 1970 is the tournament that really was his tournament. I personally think he would have won Best Player of the Tournament in 1970. But if we're gonna keep it consistent with HH's logic, he wasn't the top goal scorer for Brazil in the 1970 World Cup. It was Jairzinho, and Jairzinho is the only player in World Cup history to score in every single game of a World Cup campaign. So if you're gonna apply a Di Maria tax and this, whatever, then with that 1970 we gotta apply a Jairzinho tax. If we're being fair, he scored in all 7 games. So there's that. But even though Pele had, I think, 1 less goal than with Jairzinho, he still deserved player of the tournament, if we're being honest. So you can make the argument, if you're a big Pele hater, I know I came across as a Pele hater the last few days, but if you can make an argument that Pele probably has never been the best player, definitively the best player on his national side, because Jairzinho had something to say. All right.
And Rivellino.
Okay, yeah, Rivellino. I forgot about Rivellino. Rivellino was.
Oh God, I feel like that's such a crazy thing to say.
It's really
I really think that's such a crazy thing to say.
Wait, what's the crazy thing to say?
Like Pele was not arguably the best player in his team. I think that's crazy.
He actually was with the 1970.
That 1970 Brazil team is probably the best international team.
It is the best team of all time.
Okay, even if so if you
would you say that's
if you're on the best national team of all time, it's not necessarily just because of you. I think the support system Pele had around him was already all-time greats, but the fact that you add Pele in the mix makes it even undisputably the best. It's kind of the same shit with Barcelona's dynasty. The team he had around him was one of the greatest supporting systems you could ever have, but you throw Messi in there, that specific player, you have a recipe for probably the greatest team of all time. So for Pele, the numbers speak for itself. He's definitely there. In terms of statistics, playing on the ball, I would say Messi's just as complete as Pele, and there's no denying that. Now, let's move on to Messi, which is the last guy. With Messi, I mean, we've all witnessed his career. We lived in his time. 10 La Liga titles when I think 7 of them, whereas when La Liga was actually the best league in the world. None of this Premier League bullshit. 7 Copa del Rey titles. There's 4 Champions League. People, Ronaldo fans want to count it as 3. Whatever, we'll take 3. Doesn't matter. He's undefeated. He's never lost a Champions League final. He has a man of the match in the final. He also dunked on Ronaldo's head in 2009. So there's that.
Comedians have to have that same.
Well, I'm just stating the facts. Okay, I mean, whatever he accomplishes in PSG, if it's not a Champions League, who really cares? And then we get to the international thing. Copa America, as much as we don't get me wrong, up to the Copa America, Messi was an international player. Let's keep it a stack. He won
shut up, Mike.
So Copa America, he won, bro. He won the Copa America after all the crazy stuff. Is it the World Cup? No. So fast forward to the World Cup.
Whoa, hold up. So we're not going to talk about the Copa America final?
Okay, but we can talk about the whole tournament. Okay, fine. Well, let's talk. But
he was the best player in the tournament.
Hold on. Let's talk about it then. He flopped. We're gonna talk about it because I'm cooking right now. I got Michelin stars on my name. So he flopped in that final. Let's keep it a stack. He flopped. It is what it is. He played bad. He could have redeemed himself by scoring that goal in the 90th minute, but he flopped. He choked. I'll say he choked. But you do not get on that final just because you're Messi or you're Argentina and you're from the group stage to the semifinals, Messi was undisputedly he put that team on his back.
Yeah, he did.
On that team on his back. So he got them to the final. Did he flop in the final? Of course. But the one time his team actually showed up for him, thank God it was a final. And they won it for him. I'll say that. They won it for him in that final. Okay. He was player of the tournament. I thought Neymar was just as good as him, but ultimately Messi won, so he deserves to win it. So therefore, Messi, you can talk about the final all you want. He flopped in that final.
But he got them there.
He got
them there without
okay,
him.
so let's keep the same energy. He got them there and he flopped in the final. Now let's look at the World Cup, the bigger prize, the biggest prize in world football. If it wasn't for his goal against Mexico, they probably would have been virtually out in the
100%.
game against Poland. Okay, in that Mexico game, they were playing like absolute garbage until Messi scored that goal out of nothing. Okay, so whatever, they'll get to the group stage game. Even though he missed a penalty against Poland, he was still by far the best player on the field. If we're gonna keep it honest, he had a great game that game. Then we come to certain people.
Ricardo, was that fair play when he missed Poland? Like, because
Yes, he missed. It wasn't a penalty. I'm not.
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty. So he's like, you know what, guys?
Yeah. All right, so we're getting to
knockouts.
We're getting to knockouts. A certain person who looks like a milk dud said that he's never scored a knockout goal in a. Yeah.
Okay, it was a nice goal.
No. Hold on. No. I'm not talking about just round of 16. He never scored in the World Cup knockout. He's never performed.
So Ricardo, who did he score against? Who did he score against?
Okay, but we can't do that because Messi.
Ricardo,
hold on. I'll just ask you. What you're not gonna do? What you're not gonna do? No. Hold on. What you're not gonna do is now go back on the logic you always use. You can only play who's in front of you. You've said that.
Ricardo, I'm not saying that as a negative. I just think just for the audience, just say who he scored against.
I don't need a white woman sous chef. All right, so just staying in place. Anyways, he scored against Australia. And he played great. Doesn't matter. The same Australia that somehow came second out of Denmark, who we thought was dark horse.
Quality team.
Okay, move on. We go to Netherlands, all right? Assist of the tournament. Let's keep it a stack.
It was a nice pass.
Assist of the tournament. And then I think he scores a penalty too. He played great.
Yeah.
Okay. He scored his penalty in the shootout as well.
Wait. So did someone save 2 penalties in that shootout?
Okay, can we get to it?
Okay, all right. No, I just want to know. Okay.
Because for the longest time, I've heard, especially from Ronaldo fans, when he missed his penalty in the 2016, a Copa America final. But mind you, I was at that game, so I seen that miss with my own eyes. Okay, I was always told maybe if Messi had made his penalties, he would have won an international trophy. All right, so we'll keep that in mind. So then we move on to the semifinals against Croatia. All right, semifinals against Croatia. You could argue that's assist of the tournament because he made the best defender in the tournament be his dance partner. He made him tango. Later on to play for Julian Alvarez. He scored. Julian Alvarez had a great game too.
Mm-hmm. Speak on Alvarez. Okay. Speak on it.
Yeah. Oh, well, everybody needs their dance partner, right? Maradona had Bruchaga. Pele had Garrincha. All right. Anyways, you go to the finals. You say he scored a penalty, Di Maria this,
Rick,
Di Maria
no,
hold on.
I don't like how you're doing this.
No,
Tell
hold
the
on.
full story. Talk about Angel. Talk about the angel.
Okay, I'll talk about Di Maria. He won the penalty and he was playing a great game until they came off, which is like 75th minute, I believe. What we're not gonna do is now act like Messi didn't score the third goal for Argentina when Di Maria came off. So we're not going to act like Di Maria was there for the entire game, because the last thing I remember, Messi scored the penalty that Di Maria won.
Yes.
The second goal, Messi was a part of the build-up. He actually made the more difficult pass that unlocked Julian Alvarez to lay through to McAllister.
But what happened after that goal? What happened after the goal?
What?
Kill.
Okay, hold on. Let me cook.
Okay.
Di Maria,
Man, without card, I didn't know you know how to cook, bro. This is amazing.
Mbappe, like Abdul said, he made it a final. In the third goal in the extra time, Messi was a part of the build-up. Lautaro bricked it per usual. If it wasn't for Lautaro, Messi would have had like 10 assists that whole World Cup. Anyways, Messi was literally part of all 3 goals of Argentina. Whether or not it was a penalty, we see Messi as a playmaker. He did his job. He was playmaking, and he benefited from it. Mbappe scored another penalty. You can't sit here and tell me that Messi scored a penalty when 2 of Mbappe's goals were penalties themselves. Let's just be honest. And now you said that No,
So
hold on,
we're
hold
not
on.
going to talk about Mbappe's
No,
second goal,
no. Well, yeah, it was the goal.
which was the most iconic moment of the match. But there you
I
go.
mean, sure, but he still lost. But anyways, you
Yeah,
said in the
but
Copa
he made
America,
it
you said
again.
in the Copa America final that Messi got them there, and he was pretty much carried in the final. Okay, well, Messi got Argentina to the final, and he led them to the trophy. I'm not
But
saying carried.
Mbappe said
It
was
has
you see, but
nothing
Ricardo, but
to do.
you can't ignore the Mbappe narrative.
No,
See,
you.
Ricardo,
AJ,
this has been
you
a
got
quality.
cooked by
Wait, hold
Ricardo.
on,
Ricardo cooked you, man.
No,
I can't
Ricardo.
believe this.
This has
is
been
actually
a
cookout.
quality criticism. But Ricardo, there's one little thing I'm going to ask. But are you? Is the meal done yet? I don't know whether
No. He's still
Wait,
cooking.
hold
Let
on,
him
hold on.
finish. Let him
Ricardo, is the
finish.
meal done yet? Because I've got questions about the meal. It's a great meal, but I've got questions. Ricardo, are you done with the
First of all,
with the
I
meal?
don't want no person. Okay, first of all, I saw you dancing last night on the stream, and for a black man, you have no rhythm. All right, so I don't want to take any opinions from you. So
You was shaking that
Mbappe,
thing, huh?
Mbappe. Look, at the end of the day, Mbappe got a hat trick. Cool.
That's a break, bro. Drop the break on Yasser, bro.
No. Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, it's just. That's why he won the award. But no, Ricardo, can I ask you a question?
Shout out to a church, man. Shout out
Okay,
to
what? What's the question?
So my question is, Ricardo, quality, so much talk, amazing.
Yeah, HH got cooked, man.
Now,
That's crazy.
Ricardo, with all the things you've said, can you please tell me what are truly iconic moments that will live in history that Messi has done in 5 World Cups?
Okay, the iconic moment that people will remember is the 2022 Qatar campaign. The whole tournament is iconic.
Okay, Ricardo. Okay. Maybe I should. Okay, let me.
Oh, so you're moving the goalpost. You're moving the goalpost.
No. So Ricardo, now I know you're Peruvian, but I think do they learn English in Peru? Hopefully they do. I'll say it slow. I'll say it slowly. What particular moment, Maradona's goal against England, Pele's wonder goal as a 17-year-old, where he flicked it over a guy's head and then volleys down, where an opposition player that's Ricardo, let me even break it through.
Messi's iconic. Wait, hold on. Messi's iconic moment.
I would low-key be a Sunday player.
Was when they gave him the trophy and he lifted that motherfucker.
Okay, so you see,
yeah, when he
Ricardo, let me explain. So Ricardo, my thing is that Pele's goal as a 17-year-old in the final, where he flicked it over a guy's head and volleyed, where one of the players said that he wished he applauded.
Okay.
Maradona's goal against England, where it's considered one of the greatest goals of all time, where English players, Lineker said, I came close to applauding. What truly iconic moments has Messi had in 5 World Cups? Answer, Ricardo, he doesn't have one. Ricardo, here's the thing.
Can I ask you a question?
Ricardo, everything you said, Ricardo, let me talk. Let me respond. Ricardo, here's the thing. What you've laid is like an A-star student. You've ticked all the boxes. It looks all good. But what is lacking is something, Ricardo, you said. Ricardo, let me rewind to what you said. Because Ricardo, you, by my point, because Ricardo, you presented a beautiful A-star resume. Every box is ticked. Every T is crossed. Every I is dotted. But the issue is, with everything you've done with that watertight resume, which I've always said is a watertight resume, more with less. That is the definition of greatness.
Okay,
so my thing
is... Hold on. Hold on. This is where it bites in the ass, because you're saying more with less, right? Are we gonna act like between these 3 players, let's exclude Zidane, Pele didn't have the most, and he maximized with the most? That's why I said Maradona is the one that's actually accomplished the most done out of these 3.
No, but you know what? But that's what I said. I said that objective goods, I'm going to give it to Pele in terms of what he did.
But you're being a hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite now. You're being a hypocrite.
How?
Because you're saying he's the objective goal, but 2 seconds ago you literally said what he has done with less. Pele's never really had less. He's just maximized everything.
No, Ricardo, you're confusing it. I'm saying that's Maradona.
Yeah, but you said objective goal. I'm talking about objective goal. I'm not talking about your goal.
But you said that's your preference goal compared to the actual goal you think is better.
Wait, hold on. Let me explain my points. It's all down to parameters. If I use Pele as an objective goal because I use the Ali argument and the Jordan argument, what have you done? Have you transcended your sport? And did you as an individual, and did you as an individual do what Ali did with the boxing and Jordan did it with basketball.
Let me ask you a question.
But hold on. My thing though is, for me personally speaking, for my parameters, it's more with less. That's my parameter of GOAT.
Okay, fair enough. That's why you picked
Let me
Maradona.
just ask you a question.
Wait.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay, Abdul.
Can you be the GOAT? Can the World Cup be considered yours if you won the best in your team?
It can, but it would be
No,
leave
it can't.
No,
Wait, hold on, Abdul, you're being unfair.
According to your logic, HH, would you consider somebody the GOAT if he won the World Cup, but he wasn't the best and most influential player on the team?
I wouldn't.
But who are you implying that to? Because
No,
Pele
no,
wasn't.
I think you're saying that to Pele, Ricardo.
Yeah,
I think you said it
because
to
obviously
Pele.
Abdul, obviously you're implying that to Pele. But as I've said,
No,
I'm just giving you that.
I'm implying this to you because
1970 argument, Rivellino was the best player on that team. Now everybody played their role, everybody was important, but I get that Rivellino was actually the best player on that team. In that final, the biggest in the game that meant so much, Rivellino was the best player on that pitch, specifically the second half. I think this is another really big one now. I can't go via what people say. Now imagine in like 100 years.
Wait, no. Abdul, Abdul, I fully back that point. And also I fully back that point.
No,
for
and there
me
was
personally.
How can you call him
Abdul.
the GOAT if you never watched him play? You said it yourself. You can't call somebody the GOAT if you have
I've never That's no. Abdul.
You said it.
You can't You can call someone
Yeah,
the GOAT without
4K,
watching
man.
them. But you can call someone the best by viewing them. Bro, I never saw Ali box. But of course he's the GOAT.
No, but fundamentally,
greatness is about your impact.
No,
you
wait,
don't have to see somebody for the great.
Let me.
Wait. Let me just let my point. So my thing is, with Pele, for my personal parameters, no. But if we're not going to talk in an objective sense, that is away from my parameters of what you've done for the sport, you give it to Pele. But for me, personally speaking, for my own personal thing, which is the point I made is Maradona won with scraps. So his achievements is the definition of greatness. So that is for my
But something doesn't feel right here because as you say, Pele is the objective GOAT, but knowing what Abdul just said, that he was never the best player for Brazil in the World Cup, it kind of does leave that. I don't know.
But that's a subjective.
He can be one of the greatest.
Hold on.
That's a lie, by the way.
Exactly, Wilton. This is one thing I don't like.
I don't. Can I just
go ahead.
Wilton is Brazilian, so let's Vil have a stake.
No. Before you say something, before you say something, you guys can say that, but let's be honest here. No one truly believes that. You can say, "Oh, I see. Rivellino is the best player." Come on, that's a subjective point of view. Objectively, there is no one in their right mind that will actually admit that Pele was not the best player in that team.
Yes. Let me ask you this.
Because you know that.
Yes. Do you know that the entire it's one game, but it is the biggest game. You know, the entire 1970 final is on YouTube. The whole game, fully. Forget that. And I watched the whole game. That 1970 final, I watched the whole game.
But you won one game though.
Have you seen that game?
But then you watched one game though, like
my point is, George, like you can say Pele was the best player ever. I agree. I personally think Pele was the best player on that team in that tournament. Yes, but my point still stands that you have a player like Jairzinho, who is still to this day the only player to ever score in every single game of a World Cup. You can't give completely every single credit to Pele when Jairzinho did what he did, and that's not even to mention Rivellino in the
Regardless, you said Pele is the best.
I said Wilton. No, I said
he's the best player.
Wilton
on that team. Yeah,
HH man.
Hold on. We've not heard from Wilton since the events of December 18th. So,
man, I've been around, man.
That song is called the Wilton. Thank you for that song, man.
It's on Arantes do Nascimento, man. The greatest of all time, man. Bro. This guy
was literally calling CR7.
Delta, shut up, man. Let me talk, man. Let me put in the back, man.
Can you pull up the screenshot I send you in your DMs? Just pull up the World Cup stats, bro. In 1950, a a 9-year-old Pele saw his dad crying in the living room watching Brazil lose in the final against Uruguay in the Maracanã. This guy told his dad, "Dad, I'm gonna win you the World Cup. I'm gonna bring the World Cup to Brazil."
Disney Plus.
And 19 no, not this one. It just go all the way back up till the World Cup starts. You're gonna see it. This guy in 1958, he scored one goal against USSR. He scored a hat trick in the semifinal against France, and he scored a brace in the final as a 17-year-old. At one point, this guy was bigger than football. When Ricardo brought up the Copa Libertadores, the only reason why he only has 2, he only participated in 3 of them. So out of the 3 editions he participated, he won 2. And the reason why he didn't win more, because Santos thought it was better to go around Europe and just tour around Europe, because there is no point of being in the Copa Libertadores. This guy single-handedly made Santos who they are. Santos were from the road. They were trash. Like he made Santos who they are. And then when they didn't win any Copa Libertadores until Neymar came around. Like Pele has contributed in every single game at the World Cup. He has contributed 14 games, 10 goals, and 11 assists. That's crazy. I'm sorry. Like the guy say what you want to say about Pele. This guy was voted FIFA best player of the century and people say Pele's inconsistent. Pele was the definition of consistency. This guy was consistent for 12 years. And the whole reason why he got injured in 1966 because there was no red card and yellow card. The guy got battered in that 1966 World Cup.
Vilton, we remember about that poll, what happened and who actually won that poll, but that's for a different conversation.
No, but we do know who won it. We do know
we do know who won it because FIFA had to fix it again.
Am
I lying? HH, you know the truth. We know what happened. Who was voted the best in that poll?
Maradona.
The streets, we ain't gonna forget that.
Okay, level to critical, level to cook.
But as for people say Pele play in the Brazilian league, this and that, but the issue with that, the same player that was on Brazil, they play in the Brazilian league, so there's no need to go to Europe. So he went against those players that was on the Brazil team, and he destroyed them with Santos. He just did. I'm sorry, he did. He made Santos there, bro. This guy's the only guy that they call the king of football. This guy was a national treasure. At one point, this guy was bigger than football. It is like Pele is the first to do it. Like I saw that clip on Twitter that you're showing us about how
where he was the first to do everything.
He transcended football. He's pretty much the Michael Jordan of football. It is what it is. He's the only man with 3 World Cups. No one's ever gonna match that. And what you said earlier, it's a great thing. Messi to me is the second greatest of all time. But
you're so shameless.
No. I mean,
Milton, where is Cristiano Ronaldo? What's Cristiano Ronaldo?
Cristiano Ronaldo is third in my opinion. He's third in my opinion.
No, my God. Wait, hold on. Vilton.
Billy.
Shut your goddamn ass up.
Yo, Vilton. Vilton, you said before the tournament, if Cristiano Ronaldo wins the World Cup, he is the GOAT.
Wait, Vilton.
And now that Messi
hold on.
has won,
Vilton, you're not saying that Cristiano is greater than Maradona, surely not.
It's just I don't rate a fat turd who was on cocaine and who had to cheat. Who had to cheat in 1986 to score the fight.
Is that what we're doing?
I'm sorry, he cheated, bro. I'm not gonna rate a guy who scored. Wait, can I let? I'm not gonna rate a guy who scored goal with his head. People love glossing over his head. Oh my God, Maradona.
I got a question for you.
He scored a goal with his head. Imagine if Messi did that. You would have killed him.
Well, he did do that in Spain.
I'm
sorry, bro.
Isn't that the same thing for Zidane? What he did 06, letting down his nation.
But
don't let that.
His performance against Brazil.
Wait, Vilton, can I ask you a question? Go ahead. Has Cristiano Ronaldo in 5 tries had a better World Cup campaign than Maradona in 90?
No, of course not. Of course not.
But
Ronaldo's not a cheat though. That's the issue. That's the difference. Ronaldo is in the cheat.
To be fair, he had
he was in the lucky score with his head. I'm sorry.
So all because he scored his hand.
Yes,
think he's now greater.
And he was doing drugs. Tell him, bro. He was doing drugs.
The guy was doing PEDs. I don't.
That's what's
dodge. It
was dodge. Him doing drugs is called dodge.
And I'm supposed to come on you and say, "Oh my God, Maradona, you the GOAT. You score goal with your hand, bro."
Wait. I need to go right. So, J2S, talk to me. Your goats and why?
Man, you're hurt.
Billy's like GOAT. Billy's the GOAT.
J2S.
My goat's Messi.
Why?
Well, because he's
Lionel.
won the World Cup. He's done it in Champions League. He's got the league titles. He's one of the best players ever to play the game. He's got the collective. Now, I'm not saying like Maradona and Pele are like bad, but Messi just edges it, just that slight bit. Very slightly.
Tell me Messi's degree of difficulty. In the
Oh
World Cup.
my God, he got
That's
it
a
done.
simple
It does
question.
not matter. He got it done.
So okay, so basically, so the answer is that he doesn't have a dud moments.
Can I ask you a question? What's Pele's dud moment? He's
What's
always been on
Pele's
stat
dud? Can you
sheets?
explain to
Yeah.
me?
Maradona has dud.
Ricardo, do you want to know? Ricardo, do you really want to know?
I actually
Because
know.
it's racial. Maybe I'll
Yes.
leave it for
Oh,
Monday nights.
give me a break. Give me a break.
So
Wait,
hold up.
Ricardo, let me ask you this. How many World Cup Brazil won before Pele was born? How many World Cup Brazil won?
No, I get it. He didn't have any World Cups. My point is he had a superstar team, which is
Yeah.
it's fine. If Hilton, it's fine.
Which
It's
is fine.
fine.
But Pele was still a pioneer though to that Brazilian national team.
Bro,
though.
I'm not denying that. Pele. When I say Messi is the GOAT, I'm not saying he's clear from Maradona and Pele. Like they're literally inches apart. If you think Pele's the GOAT, if you think Maradona's the GOAT, that's fine. But bro, we're not gonna move the goalposts. Is all I'm saying.
I'm not moving the goalposts.
Okay, let me come
Definitely
to Oz. Oz, talk to me, and then I'll come to on this bit to Oz.
So, HH, normally I would be on your side saying Maradona did less and more, but there's a problem with that. That no longer exists.
What?
You're saying he won less with
No, he did more with less.
I agree with that. But now you're in an era where the less are doing more. You have teams that are becoming.
Wait, no. Oz, wait, hold on. No, so how does that make what Maradona did a moot point? Because Oz, my thing is, even if you want to count 2010 as a modern era, look at what Forlan did with Uruguay. That's still dud. What's Forlan did with Uruguay in 2010?
He didn't win with it.
But my point is, no matter how much the game modernizes, you can still have a situation where a guy can do more with less. That can still happen. So
it's not
all because the
possible
game
anymore now. It's not possible anymore because you have teams that look. You said it yourself.
But how does that negate what Maradona achieved?
No, I'm not negating what he's achieved. I'm saying that happened. I'm not discrediting that. What I'm saying is that you can't put that what's it called, that those rule sets to Messi now because Maradona did it. It's like saying drop a player in a different era and see what he does. That's not how it works.
Oz,
you have to compare it to the era they're in.
No, but Oz, you know what you could say though? If you look at all the three guys that we're talking about in specific, Santos, for example, right? They hadn't won the Copa Libertadores pretty much since Neymar, Ganzo, and all those guys. Napoli have not won a league title since Maradona. And with Messi, I mean, Messi's still fresh from leaving Barcelona, but since Messi has left Barcelona has been an absolute comedy show. So the clear replacement value, you can't argue how much they were carrying their sides. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not.
Can Dr. Oz, can I just the whole point that he's trying to tell you, which just doesn't make sense to me, is that when it comes to Maradona doing more with less, how can he do more with less when he had a team that kept more clean sheets, and he scored fewer goals? His teammates scored more goals than Messi's teammates, and his back line kept more clean sheets than Messi's teammates. So how do you
see, Buzz Abdul, you're just looking at the numbers. Did you see Maradona's influence on the pitch? Abdul, I thought you were a football guy. Surely most of football is more than also numbers and stats.
I'm not discrediting what Maradona did. What Maradona did is an incredible achievement.
It was bloody amazing.
I'm not discrediting that. What I'm saying is that you can't apply those rule sets to a Messi now because Maradona did it. I understand Maradona did it.
Wait, go win with Scunthorpe. Go to Scunthorpe.
Wait. Let me finish. Okay. Maradona, what he did is incredible, but you can't apply that now to what a player is doing now because and then you completely change the narrative now. You're saying because you're only saying this now because Messi won the World Cup. You're only bringing this up now because Messi became. It's crazy to use the World Cup to discredit Messi, which is I've never seen nobody. You of all people have hope. You're the only one I could think of to be able to be one of the best players in the tournament and somehow use that against him. is crazy.
Yeah, this is-
It's not using it against him. Mbappe ruined it.
This-
That's
hey,
what
hey,
it is.
hey, hey,
Listen,
hold on.
Oz,
That
Oz,
doesn't make
Mbappe is
sense.
the reason why we're having this discussion.
It's
Without Mbappe, we don't
what I
have
don't
this
get
discussion.
it. What I don't
Wait,
get
Without
it.
Mbappe, we don't have this discussion.
Why
Mbappe
does
is the
not
reason why we're
it's
having
it's
this
This
discussion.
this was supposed to be a GOAT debate. This just turned into a roast.
it's what I don't understand.
No,
though.
hold
Why
up,
these
hold up,
guys-
hold up,
Wait,
hold
let
up.
us land.
Hold up.
Man. Shout out
Because
Mbappe,
you
man.
said
Thank you, bro.
first you said he needs to win the World Cup. Done. And now
And
you
also
said
how he
wait,
does it. How he does it.
wait. You said he needs to win the World Cup. I agree with that. If you want to be a good goat,
100%.
you gotta win the World Cup.
No. To get
Now
into
he
the
has-
GOAT convo, to get into the VIP club, you need the World Cup. You need to get into the VIP club.
I'm with you. I'm with you now. He won the World Cup.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he didn't have the iconic moment.
He
What?
didn't. Us, he didn't.
What does an iconic moment contribute to one of the
Oz,
greatest players?
okay, Oz, let me listen for you. So Oz, Pele,
Mexico was the iconic moment.
okay. Pele's. Oh, shut up, Oz.
Wait,
Pele's.
how was it not an iconic moment?
It was an iconic moment. It kept him in it.
Abdul. You're surely not telling me that his goal against Mexico is as iconic as Maradona's goal against
Let me
England,
explain why.
Pele's goal as a 17-year-old, or Zidane single-handedly dunking on
Hey,
Brazil.
wait,
wait, hold on.
We saw when Messi went up against Brazil.
Stop bringing Zidane into the conversation.
Don't come on, man. Let's keep it a stack. Let's keep it a stack.
Zidane
The heck?
doesn't belong in this type of
Wait,
conversation.
hold up.
Yeah,
Let us finish
Zidane is not
his
involved in
points.
this
Let's all finish his
conversation,
points.
man.
Oz.
Can I mention something? Real-
But my
Oz,
thing
can
is,
we
why you guys
agree?
so
Wait,
desperate, bro?
Wilson,
Like,
Wilson,
Jesus
Wilson,
Christ.
So the desperation is
Oz,
crazy.
Like,
Wilson,
why?
that's why.
I don't get it. Like, there's nothing with
Wilson,
Messi
it's
being
cringe.
second
Wilson,
best.
it is honestly
Like-
cringe. Wilson, I'm here to stop the
No,
cringe.
I'm gonna be honest
Continue.
with you, right? The GOAT, it's just so hard to say who's the GOAT
So
because
you
of the
can't.
errors.
Wilson, we're just here
The
for vibes.
errors.
We're here for vibes, man.
But Wilson,
but my thing
Look
is,
at his tone change, man.
what's
This
wrong
is
with
disgraceful,
Messi
man.
being second best?
Disgraceful.
Like,
You're all
I've
falling for it.
Abdul, let me just say that. I've
No,
always
no,
said,
but Wilson,
I've
let me
always
just
said
explain
to
Wait, hold
Cristiano
on, guys.
Ronaldo.
Okay, I'm going to start meeting guys. One at a time. Abdul, then Oz, because also speaking. Abdul, make a point real quick because Oz was speaking.
Yeah, just on the iconic goal thing. That Mexico goal, in my not even subjective, objectively speaking, bro. Had that first game they lost, that team was trash. Everybody was trashing on them. This second game, everybody admitted they was horrendous up until that goal. Mexico was defending resolutely, and had they not won that game, they would have been in serious trouble.
Okay, Abdul, quick question.
Serious trouble.
Abdul, quick question. In 30 years' time, will people replay that goal?
Yes.
Abdul, you're lying. because Abdul, let me say to you, one of the first images I ever saw of football was that Pele goal in the final. That Pele goal and that Maradona goal have been played again and again and again and again and again and again and again because those are iconic moments. Abdul, Abdul, that Messi thing is big for now. In 30 years' time, no one is playing that goal again in 30 years' time.
This is what you're. No, wait, hold on. This is why you're being a hypocrite because we can all sit here and remember Diego Forlan's performance in the 2010 World Cup. He was by far the best player.
100%.
So we acknowledge and we recognize, even though he didn't win it, Diego Forlan 2010, that was his World Cup. He also didn't have an iconic moment that everybody remembers. It's the same thing with Lionel Messi. Everybody will remember the 2022 World Cup for being a tournament that he was undisputably the best player in the
That's what I'm
tournament.
about to say. That's what I was literally about to go to.
Exactly. I don't know why you're
and also, see, and here's my okay. Do you want me to be real? Messi, the best player, 2022 World Cup, sure. Did he play as well as Zidane in 06 or Maradona in 86?
You want to go on to this? You want to go on to this?
Let us know. Let's finish. All needs to finish. All needs to finish.
You're not gonna come on this hangout saying Zidane had a better performance than what Messi did.
Stop it. No. Oz, see now. See, Oz, Messi was quality. Don't you dare.
No.
Compare what Zidane did in 2006.
We can.
Don't you dare.
Zidane
dropped. Hold up.
Let me land.
Zidane dropped arguably the greatest individual
No,
performance
no,
of
no,
all
no,
time
no.
against
Hey,
Brazil.
hey, 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 hey,
No, I don't do
hey,
that.
hey, can I land? 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 No, 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 no. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. You guys are overrating the
Let me start with you
performances.
guys. Always finish your point.
HH. There's Zidane scoring every single round of a World Cup.
No, he didn't.
Tell me that.
HH, don't be
Did
So that's what you said.
Yeah,
That's the
HH,
point.
you're so.
Pause.
So
Did
that's
Zidane
now
do it
that's
with
the
Panenka
point.
on Buffon?
HH,
Did
you're
Messi do it by
so.
Panenka?
No, 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 no. Can I talk? Can I talk? Let me talk.
Okay, Zeman, have your mind.
Let me
Zeman, have your
talk.
mind.
Let
Zeman.
me talk. My problem with the Zidane iconic moment, his iconic moment is letting down his nation in the
Yeah, that's
final.
true. That's the
That's
fact.
his iconic
That's such a
moment.
fact.
No, no, no,
That
no,
is
no.
the
Let
fact.
me land. Let me
That
land.
had
Let me
been.
cook.
Ricardo,
Let me
Ricardo,
cook,
you're,
HH. Let me
you're
cook.
so childish,
Let me
man. Grow up,
cook.
man.
Let me cook, HH. Let me
He's
cook.
no,
Let me
no,
cook.
no,
Let
no,
me
no, no,
cook.
no, you
No,
can't.
let
No,
me
no,
cook.
no, no,
My
no,
problem
no, you
is.
can't.
My problem is.
No,
My
no, hold on.
problem
Let me
is.
know. Let
My
me
problem
respond.
is.
Let me
No,
respond.
no, 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 no,
You
no, no.
asked me a question. You asked me a question. Let me
I have
respond.
to
You
cook.
asked me a
I
question. Let me
have to cook.
respond.
I have to cook.
He's
I
no.
have the
Let me
grill ready
respond.
for you. I have
His
the grill
iconic
ready for you,
moments.
man. Let me
His
cook. Let
iconic
me cook.
moments.
Drink your water. Drink your water. Let me cook. Drink your water. Let me cook.
Materazzi,
Stop
hold up.
asking
Let
me,
me
chef,
say this.
what you
It
want.
showed
Let
you.
me show you what you
Let me.
want.
Okay, Zeman. Let me know. I need to
How is a red
respond.
card the biggest moment in the World Cup, bro? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
need to
saying.
respond. I need to respond to this whole thing. Zeman, here's the thing. His moments. The moment is his performance against Brazil. Zidane was so dangerous. Materazzi and the Italians had
That's
to get
not a
him sent
moment.
off.
No, no, no,
That
no.
is how amazing he was. So
H,
Zeman, don't
That's not
open
a
your mouth and
Can I
say that
land?
was the
Can I
key
land?
moment. His
Can I
moments
land?
was
Can I
no,
land?
but
Can I land? Can I
no.
land?
You
Let
can't.
me
No,
land.
no, you
Let
can't.
me land.
it was
Let me
actually
land.
my
Let me
turn,
land.
but
My
Z-Man, bro.
problem
These
with this whole
clowns, man.
assessment is you are all clowns and hypocrites. Let's dig deep into this, right? When Griezmann, look, I'm going back to Griezmann as an example. When Griezmann was having good performances all the way up to the final, but he absolutely didn't contribute anything, or he let his nation down, as much as everyone knows. Everyone was telling me that final defined his whole campaign. But when it comes to Zidane, it seems like you guys are all turning the other way. It's like, no, he let his emotions.
Did Zidane score a Panenka in the final?
No. He let his emotions.
Did Zidane score a Panenka in the final? Yes or no? Answer the question. Did he score a Panenka in the final? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer the question.
Why are we talking
That's
about
the truth.
Zidane,
That's
bro?
no. That's the truth.
Zeman, talk to me about your goats, man. Guy, you just talk. Hurry up, man. The hell?
Zidane let his nation down. There's no way of looking
Talk
at it.
about your goats, you clown. Talk about who your goats is.
He got emotional. Michael scored in the final. He
But
stayed in the pitch.
what's the worst thing about that, Zeman is?
Zeman, make your point so I can go to undisputed. Make a damn point, man.
So for me, it's about overall performances and consistency of performance throughout that tournament. And Messi had more of a consistent performance. He didn't let his emotions get the best of him, even when his team got back to 2-2 and headbutt a person like Zidane did. I'm sorry, we have to contribute the whole campaign as a whole. You could say Zidane had, arguably one of the best campaigns we've ever seen in a World Cup,
and the best individual performance against Brazil.
A good film has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. That
and
ending
Mbappe ruined the
was
ending.
Trash. No, that ending was Mbappe enhanced that ending.
No, he ruined it for Messi, not for Argentina. He ruined it for Messi, not for Argentina.
That ending for Zidane wasn't it, bro. That ending Zidane wasn't it, bro. The lead
Zeman,
actor
are you
left.
done so I can go to
The lead
undisputed,
actor
man?
left when they needed him the most. He couldn't.
Right, guys,
act.
I'll get you up soon. Zeman, are you done so I can go to undisputed?
Z-Man, can I land now real quick? First of all, Vilton, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to trash Pele, man. First of all, Didi was the best player in 58.
All right,
Garincha
first,
was the best player in 66.
the guy passed away. Show your respect.
Yes, sir. Shut your mouth, man. Yes, sir. Shut your goddamn mouth.
No, undisputed. He just passed away.
Your mouth. Yes.
Before you disrespect him, at least show him respect, bro. He just passed away like a couple days ago.
Okay. Rest in peace, Pele.
Undisputed.
Okay.
Who was the best young player in 1958?
Didi. 1962, Garincha.
It was Pele.
Pele
was
three games.
Pele was the young best player in 1958.
Vilton, let me land.
Let's undisputed make his point.
Okay, Garincha was the best player in 62. Jairzinho was the best player in 1970. Brazil was so stacked, they won a World Cup with Pele in the hospital treatment alongside Ousmane Dembele. That is how stacked these guys were. This is by far the best national team of all time. Pele, not in a million years does Pele do what Maradona did in 86. Not in a million years. He doesn't have the guys,
Let's come on, Wilson. Let him.
He doesn't have the technical ability. He doesn't have the dribbling. He doesn't have the passing. The only thing he has over him is goal scoring. And Pele's not even the best goal scorer of his generation. Gerd Muller's the best goal scorer of his generation. So what does he have really in the GOAT debate? I mean, there's 3 World Cups. I mean, in 1962, this guy flexes his 3 World Cups. In 1962, this guy did about as much as Aguero did in 2022. This is how he's flexing his World Cup.
Wait, he scored in 1962.
I don't care, man. I do not care about this. I mean, even his club career, man. Even Pele's club career.
Let's get to your goats.
Okay, even his club career, right? It's provincials. It's provincial leagues. It's overrated as hell. Maradona's Argentina club career is very underrated because none of you guys even know anything about it or talk about it. It's elite. It's absolutely incredible what he was doing with Argentina's juniors, a mediocre team in a very strong league at the time. Very, very strong league at the time as an attacking midfielder. Napoli, UEFA Cup, also a very underrated achievement considering how strong that was back then. And then you get to Zidane. I mean, who the hell invited this guy? Who the hell invited Zidane in this discussion?
Did, man. Ziman, shut up. The guy who balled, the guy who scored the greatest goal in the UCL final. The guy who scored 2 goals in the World Cup final. From open play nowhere, where penalties to open play goals. And the guys who had the greatest individual performance against Brazil.
Can I tell you, can I ask you something about the Champions League? Zidane, hold on, Seaman, let me land. Okay, first of all, it's Champions League. Oh, you want to talk Champions League? You want to talk what happened at Juventus? He joined the Champions League winning team, made them into Champions League losers in back-to-back finals, where he flopped in both.
Ricardo, I'm going to throw you out of this whole thing, Ricardo.
And you know what else happened?
I'm going to throw you out of this whole thing.
This guy joined the Galacticos Real Madrid, the great Galacticos Real Madrid, stacked all over the pitch. He won 2 major trophies in half a decade. 1 La Liga, 1 Champions League. That's it. This is your GOAT. Flop at club level, bro. Complete and utter flop at club level. I'm honestly HH. I would rather pick Ronaldo Nazario over Zidane if you want to have a serious discussion about your childhood heroes.
I would rather pick.
And by the way, you want to talk about doing more with less, guys. You want to talk about doing more with less, right? Guys, compare the French teams Zidane had to the Argentina teams that Messi had. Who has better teammates? Be very honest. Be very honest with yourself.
Zidane has
did Messi have Patrick Vieira in midfield, or a player even close to Patrick Vieira in midfield? Did Messi have a defender even close?
Hold on. I have a response to you. Okay, Zimmer, on the speed, I have a response to you. On the speed said, before the 06 World Cup, Vieira, Mikel, all those teams, they were struggling to qualify without Zidane. Guess who had to come out of retirement to get France to qualify? So don't put those names out there. And those names that you mentioned were struggling to qualify. So he had to come out of retirement to help them qualify. And the guy who was still retired had the greatest individual performance against Brazil and single-handedly destroyed Brazil. What are we talking about here? Come on, baby.
Why are we talking about Zidane, though? Why are we talking about Zidane? Messi is better than Zidane. Like, why
First, you want to talk about
who is your GOAT? Who is your GOAT? Tell me your GOAT.
It's obvious. The best dribbler of all time, a top 3 goal scorer of all time, a top 3 passer of all time, World Cup winner, best World Cup campaign of the 21st century by a margin. One with a team with McAllister, Acuna, Otamendi.
Stop it!
You want to talk about God?
This was a good Argentina team. Stop it! This is cringe.
This Argentina team is not even close to that French team. Not even close to that French team.
No. On the speed side. Which Argentina team was better, the 86 team or this team?
Okay, the 86 team was worse. It was worse.
They were undisputed.
I agree. And here's the thing. We're
gonna forget that they won the Copa America. They were in the 36th game of beat and they were horrible.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, right? About the Copa. No, I want Filton. You know what's fun? Filton, guys, you want to talk about guys, Filton. You want to talk about Messi flopped in the Copa final. I agree, he did flop. But you know what? No one else is talking about.
He was the best player in that Copa.
Filton. You know what? No one's talking about. How bad was Zidane in the Euro 2000 final? Watch that game again. How many times did he lose possession? How many times did he throw you useless tricks? How bad? Guys, let me land. How much better was Totti compared to Zidane in the 2000 Euros final? Watch the game again. You want to talk about Messi being bad in the Cup final? Okay, I agree, but keep the same energy for Zidane.
Why do we do this, guys? Why do we abuse great legend players, bro?
What's the mic so loud?
Yeah, your mic's so
Oh,
loud.
my bad.
And then of course, and then one more thing.
Is it better now?
Hold up, on the speed. Go for it. Continue.
Okay. And so I'm actually astonished that people are even putting Zidane in the same category as Messi. Like it genuinely blows my mind that these two are even in the same discussion. I mean,
no one's doing this. No one's doing this.
No one is doing this.
I mean, no, HH. Look at the thumbs. Look at
Hey, look at HH, bro. HH got a.
I'm talking about.
I'm gonna say something
in that picture, guys.
First of all, I think Messi's first, Maradona second, and then probably Pele third, I'm gonna guess. And then after that, the thing is, Zidane is closer to Bruno Fernandes than he is to Messi.
Yo, relax. See, now you did the most. See, now you just did the most. See, now you're just ridiculous, bro.
I like the energy, but that's too much. That's too much.
Wait, hold on, because let me just get some dogs, because a lot of guys have the dogs with him. So
just getting cooked.
You're proving my points, though. That's my thing. Nobody has actually made a compelling Messi argument.
It hasn't even been an argument, bro. He's just been defending himself this whole time.
Baraka, wait, hold up. Everyone's pronunciation of it's Dynamo, isn't it? I think it's Dynamo, isn't it? So I think we all said Dynamo. It's Dynamo. HH want to start the year with shut up, my guy. Shout out to your boy Rodney Antoine. HH, tell me another one who was one of the best dribblers, finishers, passers, free takers, playmakers of all at the center, other than Messi. I'll wait. Rodney, that's the whole point.
Messi is the best player of all time.
It's like, this is true. Look, in terms of times, cool. He doesn't have any great iconic moments.
Bro, it doesn't have to do with anything, bro. He's still the second. He's the greatest player of this generation. In this generation,
there we go.
Messi's the best. Messi's the best of
the hold on. No, hold on.
When it comes to the greatest,
let me answer Rodney.
The guy's
Rodney, for this generation, hold up, Rodney. For this generation, without a doubt, Messi is the greatest of this generation. Because hold on, Ronnie, in this generation, we just don't have those kind of personalities like Maradona.
We have Cristiano.
So it is what it is.
Real quick to Fland. Hold on, real quick about Fland, right? Fland, you keep saying that Zidane is better than Maradona. You are a dumbass. I'm sorry, you are a complete loser. You are so stupid. You should have been aborted.
Better than Maradona? Who says that?
This Fland guy in the chat. My God, you are extraordinary.
Vilton, hold on, one quickly. Vilton, like I respect the hustle, but right now you shouldn't be the messenger saying that Pele is the greatest after what your history in this hangout says about Cristiano Ronaldo.
I said he's my goat.
Leave Sui alone. Leave Sui alone.
My goat, though. He's my goat.
Hold on. Let me say this. So shout out to D-Rock City. El Diego will always be the GOAT.
He's my goat.
And
but the objective GOAT is Pele.
Here's my thing. And that's how some guys will be, man. Like for me, Maradona, he'll always be the GOAT. Always. AJ, take HH's word on I didn't see him live. Relax, I didn't see him live. Guys, here's my thing. This joke was old like about.
Did you see him in the 66 World Cup when he got injured?
The joke got old 5 months
guys,
ago.
Can I ask a question?
Guys, hold up. Get a new joke, you clowns. Get a new joke. The joke was old 5 years ago.
You're literally the same person that said you saw a picture of him black and white. That's
NDI. Pele balled as a college student. That's dope. That's dope.
That's 17.
Guys, can I ask a simple question?
There's never going to be another 17.
If you ask Argentinians, do you think they're still picking Maradona?
No, they're picking Messi because he delivered for them. That was their main
gripe.
It depends.
Hold on. It depends on the generation.
It depends on the
generation.
Because I still have a lot of older uncles, like they're in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. They'll vouch for Maradona. My godfather, he says Pele. My other godfather, he says Gerd Muller. So it depends on the generation you're asking.
It all depends on the generation. You're always gonna have a different one.
So I don't understand this whole Pele
generation.
No. You see, we're doing this for Sunday
Pele's
vibes.
top 3.
See, man, shush.
Yeah, Pele's the GOAT, bro.
It's the Talents FC. No, sir, Bobby Charlton. Lose your. Why does he have Havertz in his thing? Look, okay, thank you.
That's Havertz in jail.
Did we talk about Chelsea?
So Marco, Pele was playing in a time when pitches and equipment were not up to today's standards. So they had a harder time playing. So there was less protection for attackers from defenders.
Bro,
Good. People were pampered. Wait, hold on. Let me, because there's a part two. However, the flip side is that now everyone is a better player thanks to modern sports science. So Messi has more challenging opponents to play against, but has every advantage. Does he? Because defending has actually gotten a lot worse now.
For example,
so Vilton, talk to me.
Red card and yellow cards didn't come to the 1970s.
1970, yeah.
And that's why Pele left football, because 1960s he got murdered. He retired from football, and they told him they were.
That's crazy.
Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. When people like on the street are saying Pele was, bro, he elevated Santos to a level we're never gonna see, bro.
This is why
guy was bigger than football. People were desperate to see this guy.
Vilton, wait, hold up, Vilton. We're doing this just for football debates and just hear where everyone's take is. The true thing is, which is why I put up that whole tweet thing there, which is that they're different parameters. It was a different world back then. So you, again, in 40 years' time, it'll be a different world. Football will be totally different. Well, if FIFA don't ruin it, it'll be a different world in 40 years' time. So then, so comparing between generations is a moot point. Daddy Us, Pele was...
What?
Okay, let's not.
Right. Beat down.
Mr. Footballista, if HH makes Messi a horseman, this channel is why?
No, it's
Why?
no.
Messi
No.
But Messi is a horseman.
No.
Be fair
Yeah.
to HH, he actually likes technical players, so he probably.
But see, this is my whole thing. This nightmare scenario was Cristiano winning the World Cup. That was a scenario where there's no coming back from that. And that was my nightmare scenario. That's why I did everything I could against Morocco.
Can you explain to me what would have happened if he won?
Yes, yeah, you don't want to know.
But Messi,
No, yes, yeah. I'm telling you right now, I don't know whether I'd be able to do this football thing in a world where Cristiano is a World Cup winner. I just don't know.
But I
would have been shameless.
By the way, on your website,
are you gonna put Messi as a horseman? You still haven't. I mean,
No. You can only be up for horseman after you retired.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
makes
crazy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pele got carried by Brazil every World Cup. Okay, thank you for that.
Pele literally contributed in every single game.
Antonio, now HH's GOAT is Pele. Laugh myself. HH deep down. Remember what I said? Objective, Pele. My personal is Maradona. Get it right.
That's called
RR7. RR7.
Oh, look who it is! Look who it is!
Oh wow, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wait, what happened?
This guy
has a Brazil AVI now.
No,
Shameless.
Known for defending.
So, guys, in case you guys are new to the channel, so RR7, every dub he sends in is about Cristiano. Every single dub he sends in. Guys, who is that? Who is that in his AVI?
That's Vinny.
Oh, it's Vinny. So, sir, Pele is the GOAT, 3 times world champion.
I mean, he is. I'm sorry, he is, man. Nobody.
But
no one's ever going to do that.
For Cristiano.
No one's ever going to win 3 World Cups. Mbappe might do it, maybe.
Wait, hold on. So Casey, Zidane is. You see,
this is
what?
That makes no sense.
How is he in industry?
That makes no
sense. It makes no sense.
You try to put him in the goal conversation, bro.
KDB is the industry.
Yeah, KDB.
Sorry, Maradona has failed stints with Barca, Boca.
Exactly.
Pele was in a super team. Zidane shouldn't even be in this conversation. Juve flop got dunked on him by Scholes. Well, Maradona didn't have Iniesta and Xavi, did he?
Scholes.
And also, see, Casey,
It's funny on the street.
Wait, hold up, Casey, you clown.
Didn't bring that up.
Hold up, Casey, you clown. Who has scored the greatest goal in UCL final history?
Oh my God!
Who single-handedly has destroyed the Brazil footballing world, that's forced it into a identity crisis? It was Zidane. I'm sorry,
Vilton, that's not true. By the way,
I'm sorry, Zidane deserves to be in his carnival.
That's not true. By
On
the way,
disputed. Zidane single-handedly forced Brazil into the identity crisis because, do you know, after 06 World Cup, what happened? They went to Dunga 2010 to do defensive. Zidane is the reason for 7-1.
HH, bring up Santos.
Vilton, I do have to say, though, Vilton, that's a lie, by the way. Maradona didn't fail at Boca. That's not true.
Hold on. You did, though.
QC8.
Injury time.
I caught your lie. Your objective GOAT was always Maradona. No, it wasn't. But now that Messi scored in the final, you switched to Pele. Where was this before? Nope. My personal GOAT was always Maradona. Objective GOAT was all up in there. But after I did my research,
Keep in mind
Pele
he has
wins
Alzheimer's.
it.
Keep in mind he has
Pele wins it, man. Casey, Maradona didn't win Copa Libertadores with Boca.
He was there for one season. No, this is Casey.
Okay,
Casey, I like this guy, but this is agenda, man.
Okay, Pele won in 1960 1963. He won in his first 2 seasons. So why can Maradona
So
do it?
also, Casey says
So
that
what are we
Santos
talking here?
16 was peak Barca of that time. Yep. 100%. They were the best team of the 60s. CR7 GOAT. The GOAT's Percy flopped in.
No, come on, bro. Relax.
Guys,
Relax.
come on. I mean, guys, like.
Al Nasser does damage.
All I'll say is it's Al Nasser. Al Nasser.
Are you going to review the game? Are you going to review the Thursday night game?
Man.
Wilton, are you going to be watching the Saudi Pro League? Yes or no?
Nah, I don't have the channel. Come on, bro.
Hold on. Wilton, if I gave you access to the channel, would you watch?
No, Ronaldo's my. But I only watch Real Madrid.
If you have a link to the game,
Ronaldo's my.
Wait, hold on. Okay, let's keep going. Let's not talk about one. So, Casey, boxing peaked in popularity with Ali, football with.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Pele literally globalized the sport.
And also, do you know why? Do you know why we can't do this? Hold up. Do you know why we can't do this? Social media is a cheat code.
Bro, that's
so
the
social
thing.
media is
Think about it. Look how big Pele made the sport is, and there was no social media back then.
Say Pele and Ali and Jordan did it without social media.
He's the only guy. He's the only guy that made the queen.
Understanding what Casey's saying. Casey's saying peak. It peaked because now we got people like Mbappe, Haaland. Like, let's be honest, bro. It's not the same. As it was with Messi being one of the best in terms of overall talent.
It's a gatekeeping argument. It's a gatekeeping argument.
Yeah.
We still have Andrick coming up. We don't know if it's gonna happen.
What's it called? Talents FC. A Nigerian and Talents FC. Are you just a troll? This guy just a troll. Thank you for that. RJ. Wait, what the hell? Maradona had a lot. Oh, shut up. Argentina team than Messi. Argentina won 1998 World Cup, won 2 back-to-back Copa after Maradona. Europe was superior in Messi's time.
Exactly. Hence why I give Pele ahead of Maradona. Brazil never won the World Cup before. Argentina won the World Cup in '78. So
home nation tax.
You're not gonna compare the team they have.
Bro, that's not the point though. They never won it until Pele got there.
But 2016 was trash.
It's the whole team.
No, I get that.
Pele
was the most influential player. It's fact. Do the research, Ricardo. Do the research.
I did my research, and what I've come to the conclusion is that Pele did not even play the group stage, so you cannot say he was the best player of that freaking team when he wasn't.
I think he was the best young player. He was the best.
No, yeah, okay, best young player. Does not mean he was the best player on the team.
But in 1970, he was the best player.
No, he wasn't. Jairzinho. No.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was in this video.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. Let's keep Let's keep moving. We'll get back to the story. So, Hamza, Lilton called Botox 7 the goal only 6 months ago.
Yeah, I said he's my goal. I've always said he's my goal.
My goal and objective goal is so cringe.
I've always said he's my goal.
It's his opinion. You can have your own opinion.
Oh my god.
Okay, hold up. Snake eyes. Pele, GOAT. The only player in history to play for 2 teams in the same match.
That is true.
When he was retiring.
Well, that's not true. Robin also did that.
Xabi Alonso did the same thing.
Wait. Hold on. Let me read the whole thing. The only player to be given a red card and officials threw out the ref and received the ref and let him play the game. Wow.
That's crazy. That's so crazy. No, that's
Wilson, find. Whoa.
It's 2023.
See, fanboys, I'm telling you,
these fanboys are hurt. They're hurt.
Yeah, the hell.
Like,
you know what?
Wait. Let me just say this. I don't get this thing where. Like, what's wrong with Messi being second or one? Like, who cares, bro?
No,
it's
but
Wilton,
let me tell you why.
Like, I have my guy at 3. I can admit Messi is better than him. There's nothing wrong with
that.
This is the problem, is that if you have Messi at second, which some people do, or even third by any measure, that's fine. But the problem is that people such as yourself and HH who are like, if Cristiano Ronaldo wins the World Cup, he's a GOAT. If Messi needs to win the World Cup, he's done it, and now you're not keeping the same energy.
No, but I've always you could ask Zidane. I've always been Pele.
No, you have not, bro.
Ask Zidane. I've always said Pele.
No, he's capping. He's capping because this guy said if Messi wins, I remember in Discord he told me if Messi wins it, man, that's it, man.
He's the greatest of this generation.
He's the GOAT.
Exactly.
That's a good record. Wait, hold on. Let's move. So, what's it called? NDI. if Croatia win, would Modric be over Maradona by HH's logic? It depends. No, it depends it depends on him playing. But Modric did not play as well as Maradona played in '86 because that is seen as the greatest ever performance by an individual is Maradona in '86. Like literally, that is the greatest performance at any World Cup.
Give credit to Rakitic, Perisic, and all those.
Here we go.
But Zeman, it would have been the Iniesta Modric conversation.
Wait. HH.
Thank God that didn't happen, man.
Didn't think he'd be having this stream after. No, you see, that's what I said. When that happened, I said that Spain lost to Switzerland and won the World Cup.
Yeah, you were consistent on that.
Thank you. Like I said, all because you lose your first game doesn't mean you can. I said Spain did the same thing and ended up winning the World Cup. Everyone was like, and Wilton, you were there. Wilton, you were. And also, let's be real. Has anyone seen Red?
No. He said Pele is the GOAT. So he's moving like
no, I don't like this. I don't like this though. I don't like this though.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so Marco.
Let's not do this though.
Wait, hold on. Half of the most iconic moments is Zidane's head. No, it's
that's true.
It's
that's true.
Zidane dunking on Brazil.
That is. HH, they made a game out of that, man.
Messi gets the GOAT award. Okay, all right. Let's not do that. Danny Doritos, man. You see, this is a Peruvian with more of a brain, man. So, Danny, please do Peru pride instead of this clown Ricardo. Who is your GOAT?
Messi.
Thank you.
Why?
I kind of just think the overall resume, in addition to the international performances and what he's done in the league, I think just for this generation, I kind of do generational GOATs. I don't think they're just undisputed.
Exactly.
So that's kind of how I look at it. So I kind of look at it like there's like a table.
Bring up his AVI, please.
No.
Please. But yeah, I just think the idea of comparing across different generations doesn't make any sense.
Come on, Danny, man, that's crazy, man.
So that's why I just think for this generation, I think that World Cup cemented Messi's legacy. But I think comparing it's kind of awkward because I think kind of like what's been brought up before, the whole idea behind physicality in the leagues, especially after seeing how Messi performed in his first season in Ligue 1 in France, I kind of wondered what it would have been like, especially if he'd had to deal with that physical play a lot, like that Maradona and Pele had to deal with.
Yes, back in the day when you guys could really hack your legs, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I just think. There's no undisputed. I think, and yes. I'm kind of confused by what you mean when you say, "Oh, my objective GOAT or my subjective GOAT." Do you just mean like my favorite player?
So basically, objective is where you just have like a general consensus void of your own opinions. Subjective is where you now infuse your opinions. So for me, I say Pele is the objective GOAT because of what Jordan did for basketball, what Ali did for boxing. Like, people would say that Sugar Ray Robinson is the greatest boxer of all time based on his boxing record and how good he was pound for pound. So that's what their thing would be. But objectively, I say objective is what was your overall impact and how
objective GOAT in my GOAT is so cringe.
I'm responding to Danny.
It's so cringe, bro. There's a GOAT.
So, but I'm kind of confused by what you mean, because when you say objective, when you say objective, and I'm guessing you mean you have no bias.
Yeah.
What makes you think then it's Pele? What's your argument?
No, my argument is Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali. So did you single-handedly transcend the sports? People knew of boxing because of Ali. The world knew of boxing because of Ali. The world knew of basketball because of Jordan. The world knew of football because of Pele. So they single-handedly transcended the sport and actually globalized and popularized it. So that's where I now put my own objectivity. My subjectivity is my own personal parameters, which is DOD. DOD has always been my parameter. Messi doesn't have any DOD. And Maradona has the greatest DOD argument, which is degree of difficulty.
Pele has no DOD either. Pele has no
Wait, you're saying Messi has like zero DOD, a career, like club career, international speaking?
For Argentina, he was carried by Di Maria and Mima. That's
okay. Pele was 17 years old when he won. Bro,
that's not DOD.
This guy was 17. We call what were you doing at 17?
Milton,
I was on my dad's balls.
Iterating the same point, bro.
Wait.
Whoa.
Ricardo, the same Ricardo. Shout out to you.
So Khalifa, talk to me. Who's your GOAT? Khalifa, talk to me.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, well, first of all, this objective GOAT, I don't think there's an objective GOAT as per se.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I heard HH speak about Pele transcending the sport of football. I don't think anyone's arguing against that, honestly. The thing is, For me personally, I'd say Messi is the GOAT because according to my parameters, for you to be the greatest player of all time, you should have an impact on the sport as a whole, and you should be a good player as well. For example,
Does he have Dodd though? Does Messi have Dodd?
That's your parameters,
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. People say Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, but he was delivering on the basketball court, though. The thing is, if we were to say Messi is not the best player of all time, I'd say that's kind of unfair to him.
No,
because
he
we've
is.
seen Messi
No,
do
Khalifa,
things-
that's
Wait, let
he
him
is, though.
cook. Yes,
No,
let him cook.
go,
But here's the thing: if we agree that Messi is the best player of all time, that means he ticks all the boxes. So for you to take it away from him and give it to Pele, the only reason for that will be because of legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to say that a player is someone is the greatest of all time just because of legacy, for me that's kind of unfair.
But wait, hold on, Khalifa. You actually made.
Because here's the thing. Let me just say one more thing.
Okay,
Let me just say one more thing, right? When we talk of Messi not having an iconic moment at a World Cup in 5 attempts, that goes back to legacy as well. It still ties to legacy. So for me, everyone who argues that Pele being the greatest player of all time, the only argument for me that you guys are making is of legacy. That's the only argument that you guys can make. But because when it comes to actually playing the game of football, Messi has to be the greatest. And doesn't Messi have an impact on the sport of football? He has as well.
Oh yeah, phenomenal.
Because the thing is, if we have to look at the overall playing the game, winning, trophies, accomplishments, and transcending the sport of football, I think Messi wins overall. He might lose on Pele on legacy, but he beats him on everything else.
But Khalifa, you just defined it. But here's the thing, though.
On everything else.
Wait, hold on.
What do you mean? What do you mean on everything else?
Wait, hold on. Yes, someone's
Like literally everything else
Hold
except
up.
legacy.
Yes.
No, Khalifa,
Except
you did
legacy.
what you did is you illustrated for me, and what I understood is you illustrated for me the difference about what everyone's arguing. I think that's the issue. I think the issue is, Khalifa, you're arguing that Messi is the best of all time, which means that in that should have a massive impact in determining if he's the GOAT as well. But then what you said is you looked at the legacy. The GOAT, in my general opinion, the GOAT, your legacy counts more than just you just being the best player of all time. That's just my general opinion.
I agree with that.
For me, I feel like
I'm sorry. Yes, sorry. Very brief, and for that, yes, we need time. So in 30, 40 years' time, how will we look back at Messi? In 40 years' time, how will 15 and 16-year-olds in 30 years' time think of Messi? That's
essentially what you want is World War III to happen in some place.
Yes, sir. Can you talk about this?
But then also, Khalifa, you're spot on, bro. 110%, you're spot on. Because I believe it's very subjective. Like what you're saying is, I generally believe that every era has a GOAT. So Pele was a GOAT. Maradona was a GOAT. And Messi is a GOAT. And Messi is probably going to be the GOAT from now till like probably in the next 100 or 200 years. Everyone's probably going to agree that. No, that's just my
100 years?
Yeah, 100 years, bro.
Relax.
Listen, that's just, no. What I mean, what I mean is Messi is going to withstand the times. Let's be honest, he will. Like Pele has, and Maradona has, he will. Yes, he will. So that's what I'm saying. So what I think Khalifa actually made it. I think the issue I have is the whole point of being the best player of all time. I think that's a separate argument. Being the best player of all time does not necessarily make you the greatest. I feel like legacy and the impact that they gave has more of a weight in my opinion.
Can
I challenge that? I want to challenge that.
The best player I've ever seen, and I want to told this, is Ronaldo. R9. R9 is still the best player I've ever seen in my life.
No, let me challenge that.
I've never put him in the GOAT debates ever.
Let me challenge
he's definitely there.
Let me challenge that.
My problem. Top 5.
My problem with the way you guys are assessing football is to the point where if you're an
hold on one time. Zeman.
Yeah, my problem with you guys assessing football and looking at it from the landscape of only legacy, and you're not putting into context all the other different aspects that come into it. I think there's a certain amount of talent level that's required. I do think legacy is required as well, as you guys have mentioned. But my thing is, how do you expect if you're putting the legacy of an originator, which you guys have bought, this Pele is an originator, like nobody's gonna have as much of an impact on football as much as he did in the future because he's built a brand worldwide. So nobody is gonna surpass that level of legacy.
Yeah,
that's why we have to.
That's why I think he's the GOAT.
No.
But that's why he's
That's why he's the GOAT.
Can I land? But my problem is you guys are harboring into one aspect and one category, and that's it. As if your whole argument is made out of that category by itself. I think I look at the whole aspect of, we have to look at it from a holistic standpoint, which is you look at Messi's talent level, his impact in the modern game, and then HH brought up that whole thing of, is he gonna be remembered more? Let's be honest, bro. Messi was brought up in the social media era. Like, of course, there's gonna be videos and context behind him compared to someone like Pele, who might not have that much context behind him. So in terms of longevity, I don't think that argument can be made that Pele is going to have more of a longevity. You know what his longevity is going to be? It's going to be his impact, and that's about it for me. In terms of talent level, and you put all those other aspects into it, I think it comes down to Messi being the GOAT, and that's the argument behind Messi being the GOAT.
No, but it's Zima, and I see that's why it's almost like a cheat code that Pele has, because people know of football because of Pele. People know of Pele before they even know of the sport of football. People who've not even seen anything about football know, oh, Pele. So once you're the primal mover and you're the originator and you're the thing that gets things going, you can never really beat that. Because here's the thing, as I said at the start,
so there's
you
never
can't wait, hold up. As I said at the
sense.
start, you can't have a GOAT because you can't compare guys of different generations. So this is a moot point. But if you are to have a GOAT and so forth, and you have somebody who is a definitive GOAT, you have to have an issue of a guy who is the prime mover and the first, and who pretty much sets everything going. And that impact can never be replicated. You can never have another Michael Jackson, another Michael Jordan, another thing.
So
it's a cheat code.
Fundamentally, your argument is flawed, because if we can apply that to multiple sports like you did with Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali,
100%.
I don't like this. Like, don't get me wrong, it has weight, but you're making it seem it's the trump card, which is not. Because if we're gonna apply this to another sport that I watch, which is MMA, I watched MMA before Conor McGregor, and I still continue to watch it. Conor McGregor globalized the sport, but he is nowhere near a top 10 fighter of all time. That does not mean he sits in the Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters. He just doesn't. And nobody, ever since Conor McGregor, has come close to impact in the UFC as Conor McGregor, or MMA in general. So this whole thing about popularizing the sport, cool. But only one person can popularize a sport, and after that, it cannot be popularized any further. So the argument makes no sense.
Real quick, that's a great point. But the thing with the Conor McGregor thing is a social media thing. Why is
MMA is a young sport? MMA is a young sport. MMA is a young sport.
But let's make points, because I'm actually a great test subject for this, because I'm a boxing guy. And I've never watched UFC because I'm a boxing guy. So I knew of UFC because of Conor McGregor. But where Conor McGregor fails and Jordan, Ali, and Thingy succeed is social media. I knew of UFC. Well, let's be real. I knew of UFC through Ken Shamrock when he was arrested. So I knew it when he was Ken Shamrock. But I was like, okay, what's this whole UFC thing? Because of McGregor, but because of his antics on social media. So guys would post stuff on social media, his press conference, I'd be like, okay, what's this? And because of how social media is, and it's about clicks, it wasn't as genuine as what Muhammad Ali was doing in the 60s.
You can't use social media against him now, because that's the product of the game. MMA is a young sport relative to other sports. So it's just so happens that when MMA came on the scene,
you can't use it against
Okay, so Zeman.
My argument is, then what's the point of being pugnacious? Well, what's the point of that?
Sorry, bring out of what?
No, what's the point of being argumentative about the GOAT conversation if you're gonna narrow it down to just being an originator? If that's the only argument and caliber that you have, then no other player can have a discussion in the GOAT conversation.
But Zima, it's hard to have this discussion though. Hold on, let me say
that is why But see, that is where everybody has now, because we just look at the discussions of Pele and the discussions of that. That's what we're not having. Now, I always feel that I felt people didn't give Maradona full his flowers, but I get it. Drugs, cocaine, and how he was.
Polarized. He cheated. He cheated in '86 too.
Relax, polarized. But my thing though is that's what impact is key.
Okay, but hold on.
Also, Zidane, it's also, and it's an impact on the two flex, impact within the paradigm of the sport, and impact beyond the paradigm of the sport.
All right, so HH, all right, perfect.
Impact on the sport is
big. Okay, so we have established that Pele is the pioneer of the sport. He's had the biggest influence. All right, fair enough. I want you to answer me this honestly because I feel like I know the answer, and because he's my favorite player. Maradona, Ronaldo, Zidane, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho. Out of these players, who's had the most effect on a generation?
Oh, Dino.
Okay, and he's not even in this conversation. So what's the point you're trying to make? That does not stand, bro.
Dino,
okay.
Dino,
here we're moving the goalpost.
No, it's not moving the goalpost. It's like Dino, I put in the whole Okocha thing. It's because of the way he did it and he played. But when you look at the overall thing of Dino, the World Cups and so forth,
Ricardo,
he doesn't have what's Pele.
But Ricardo, I'm sorry. Nobody's ever gonna impact the game the way Pele did. And you guys keep on saying, wait. Let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Wilton.
Let me just say this. And why you guys keep on making it seem like Pele was trash? The guy was an amazing
That's what I'm saying. Ricardo and Zima are being so disingenuous. You guys are being so disingenuous.
Pele was more complete than Messi. He was more complete than Messi. The guy was able to leap.
Hold on, Ricardo.
CC Zima, you can't say that.
No, hold on. The past 2 hours, I've literally said Messi and Pele are the most complete players to play the game. I have never said that Messi is by far and clear of Maradona and Pele. I literally said that it's very close.
But he is.
It's fine. No, okay, he's not. Let's be honest. But you can't tell me that. Like I'm making it a huge. It's not, bro. It's that I've never trashed on Pele.
You, Ricardo, not you.
But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that for one, whoever's saying that Pele is a goal after they said Cristiano Ronaldo's goal, your opinion is looking crazy. The second thing is now that Pele rip tax, whatever, bro, we're not gonna do that. Okay, we're not gonna give him bonus points just because he died recently, right?
Bro, I think Ricardo won this debate. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because the thing is, here's the thing though, like everything Ricardo's saying is facts. That's the honest truth. But the only thing I'll say to people that have not watched Pele, I feel like you're being very disingenuous of how good Pele was. Like the thing is, if the argument is he was not that good, come on, bro.
Yes, and also the issue is, and this is why it's always hard with the Pele. We don't have all the footage.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's like when you go into a court case, and let's say 6-7 witnesses say, "I saw this." If 7, again, I don't want to divert things. That's how Bill Cosby got caught. If 20-30 people said you did something, boom. So even if you didn't see the footage, but every single person of the era said, bro, this is.
But that's crazy, though.
That's
the point. People swear under Pele, bro.
Yeah, people. Bro, Ronaldo Nazario himself said it's Pele.
Wait. Let me land my point. So, if it's just using your logic, if literally everybody in that era said, this guy is the most extraordinary player I've ever seen in my life, Lord only knows what he was doing. So my thing though is that when you just use that logic of like, he was obviously doing things that no one had ever seen before, which is why he had such a massive impact. Hence why anybody who was with Pele, played with Pele, was like, forget anyone who came afterwards. He's the GOAT. He must have been doing stuff that was astronomical. It's just logic.
No, but it's not logical.
They all said it. This Stefano, you're in court, Frank Beckenbauer. They said Pele's the greatest to ever play the sport. Maybe it's just bad because they played with him. Just like the era. Like if you're to ask me who's the best player I've ever seen, I'm gonna say Messi. Because he is. He simply is. Let me just say. But at the end of the day, right? The greatest honor, I put in the private chat, the greatest honor an athlete can get, it just be the greatest of your era. That's why I hate GOAT debate. It's hard because that's why I always say Ronaldo's my guy and this and that, because GOAT debate is hard because we all have different opinions.
I know what, as you say, it's for me, and I think the best, and that is the best way to start because you can always be the best you could do. So what Messi has done, and let's run right what I want to do.
Just go by errors. I think it's
like
easier
what
to
Messi
go
has
by
done,
errors.
without a doubt. Even though if Hazard didn't get injured or done something, without a doubt.
Yes, fact.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Messi, 100% is the greatest of this era. No one comes close in terms of what this era is, the rules, how people play, and what this era is about. 100% he's the king of this era. Maradona for his era and Pele for his era. Because every era and everything was, and if Ronaldo didn't get his injury, he would have done something.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Because I feel like this player gets massively disrespected in GOAT debates, and maybe because his personality was a bit polarizing.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, not Cristiano, because that guy doesn't have a World Cup. Why? I mean, you've seen him. You were woke in the '90s. Why doesn't Romario get more credit?
He doesn't have as much.
But hold on. In terms of what his achievements or his talents,
bro,
the level.
It's both.
I think R9 was better. I think that's
Can we stop?
Wait.
I think that's really
let me respond. So my thing is, the issue is with again 94 because basically that was my first World Cup was 1994, and the two superstars of 94 was Romario and Baggio, but ultimately Romario was the guy. The issue with Romario was Ronaldo. Because
Brazilian
once Romario was, because really 94 was once Romario was really kicking off and everything, Ronaldo was coming through. And here's the thing: Romario was supposed to go to 98 and 02. Scolari was being a prick and he didn't pick him in 02, even if he helped them qualify for 02. And for some reason he's supposed to go to 98. The issue for Romario is because anybody who's in Romario psychologically is one of the most advanced players you've ever seen.
Yeah, he was
in terms of what he was doing on the pitch,
reading
and the way
of the
he did
game,
things
bro,
was insane. So, but the issue with Ronaldo was that Ronaldo was coming through, and Ronaldo was just like he was such a freak of nature. People forgot about how good Romario was because Ronaldo was such a freak, and also Ronaldo was a prodigy. Because when Ronaldo was like the Mbappe at the time, where this 19-year-old doing crazy things and mad things, but what was key was him not being in that 98 World Cup, which he should have been. So,
and I think him not winning the Ballon d'Or 94 because the Ballon d'Or wasn't open to all the continent. It was only open to European players, which Baggio ended up winning it. In 95, they opened it, and Ronaldo,
but let me say,
Ronaldo became the youngest Ballon d'Or winner.
Go do your YouTube. Romario pulled off the greatest drag back I've ever seen in my life.
Against Sweden?
It was for Barcelona.
Excuse me.
There's a way he does a drag back and then scores. The best drag back skill I've ever seen in my life was Romario did, man. So where were we?
Let's go around and ask the top five.
It's real quick.
Okay, can I go first? I have my top five.
Can I go first?
I
got it. Let Vil to go first.
Okay, Vil to go for it.
Come on, man.
Wait, hold on. So top five greatest, not best. Is it greatest or best?
Well, I mean, Vilton has said best and greatest is the same thing. So
no. Let's just say great.
Okay. So are we saying
that we've seen?
Let's just settle this right now. Top five best players you've seen or top five greatest?
Bro, best and greatest mean the same thing. I don't know
why
they
don't.
Wait, hold on. Do you know why it doesn't mean the same thing? Best players, you must have seen them play. Greatest, you don't have to see them play. You can just take a resume.
Matter of fact,
put it this way: nobody here can say Pele can put Pele in a top five best. No one can.
Let me Google.
I thought you saw him.
Let me Google up greatest and best. What do they mean?
All right. I'll start.
Milton said, "I need to hold up. Look at the dictionary."
Okay, guys, I've got my list.
Okay. You know what?
Do I have to go in order?
No. I think because it's what is. Let's just call it greatest.
All right.
So.
Your horseman, pretty much, right? Your five horsemen.
No. See, horseman, that's a whole different thing. Horseman is something different. So,
see,
so number one for me is Maradona. So this is personally for me.
No. Objective. No, forget that personal.
Yeah, objective.
No,
yeah,
objective.
Objective.
Be objective.
Be objective.
Okay, objective.
Let's see this clownery.
So Pele, Maradona, Messi,
Sui.
Zidane, R9.
R9.
That's very similar to mine.
No, is that the
wow? That's
R9 won 2 World Cups. There's not that one.
No one. No, don't.
So wait, Sui doesn't make your top five?
He still won 2.
Bro, yes, yeah, man. Come on.
So yes, your top five.
Okay. Nah. Okay. You know what? Objectively.
Okay, yes, you know that you could just give us the
Yes,
5.
hurry up, man.
Because I don't know, Ricardo made some good points. Ricardo wanted
Yes,
to debate.
Don't listen
give
to
your
Ricardo. Think for yourself. Think for yourself, bro.
So
Start the monologue, start the monologue.
I'll say Pele, Pele, Messi, Maradona. Then I will do Francis Beckenbauer.
Francis?
And then yes, Francis Beckenbauer.
Frank Beckenbauer.
Isn't it Frank?
It's France.
Beckenbauer.
Okay.
And then number 5, I would say
Beckenbauer, man. Forgot about him.
Yes, don't do it.
I'll say R9. I just give it to R9.
Damn,
Yes,
those
you
two?
don't let this man brainwash you,
Chris
bro.
doesn't make
Don't
it
let this
fine.
guy brainwash you, bro. What the fuck you
okay.
doing, Yassir,
for
bro?
me-
It's locked in. It's locked in.
No,
What
because
you
for
doing,
me,
bro?
It's locked in. Zeman, go for it.
Cassie,
Your
don't
five.
let this
Zeman, your
guy
five.
brainwash you, bro.
Zeman,
no,
your five.
I said objectivity.
Zeman, your 5. Zeman,
But-
your
Wait,
five.
why you skip me? Why'd you skip me?
Okay, fine.
No,
Hold on,
Zeman,
fine.
no.
Okay,
It's
let
locked
me
in. No,
let me
it's
take my
locked in.
5
Zeman.
back. No, let me take my 5 back.
Zeman, your
He's
5.
gonna cut
Sui. I'm gonna go with Sui. I'm gonna go with Sui.
I gotta think, HH. I gotta think.
Oh, okay. Khalifa, your 5. Khalifa, your 5.
Okay, number 1 is Messi. Second, I'm gonna have to put Pele's legacy isn't enough. Okay, fine. Objectively speaking, right?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. I put Pele first then. Messi second.
Oh my lord.
Maradona third. I'll have to put R9 fourth and Zidane fifth.
Don't let this guy brainwash you. What are you guys doing, bro? What are you guys doing?
All right.
Don't let this motherfucker brainwash you, man.
Do you know how good you have to be to make a top 5 without this dumbass UCL?
Nobody mentioned Jimmy Jones.
Nah,
Okay,
man.
all right. Okay,
Don't let this Jimmy Jones.
Barry,
give me a 5. Give me a 5.
Body.
Jimmy Jones, bro.
Merci.
No, guys. No one has actually mentioned Joseph Baikan. World War Tax. Come on. Barry, talk to me.
Bro, I put Beckenbauer in there, so
Barry, go for it.
Alright.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Barry.
Number 1, Messi. Number 2, Pele. 3, Maradona. 4, Beckenbauer. And 5, Nazario, Ronaldo.
Sui. No.
What's it called? Dana, you're 5.
Number 1, Messi. Number 2, Joseph Baikan. Number 3, Pele. Number 4, Maradona, and number 5, Eden Hazard.
Yes, thank you.
Eden.
Yes.
Eden Michael Hazard.
Yes.
All right.
To give you a 5.
Okay, so 5 number. This is objectively D list. Like, this is not a subjective list. This is like correct, like according to the football.
Okay, give us your subjective objective list.
Okay, number 1 Messi, number 2 Pele, number 3 Maradona, number 4 Johan Cruyff, and number 5 Cristiano.
Yes, sir. Sui.
Wow.
Hey, undisputed, man.
Can I go, Itches? Can I go? I'm surprised undisputed. I mean,
all right, okay. Bilton, go for it.
All right,
Bilton, go for it.
All right, number one. There's only one and only. The guy who threw up the Mr. Legend.
Just say his name.
Edson Arantes do Nascimento. Pele rip, man. Rest in peace. The king of football.
Pele's one.
Pele's one.
Yeah.
Pele's number 1. Messi's 2. CR7. Maradona and Ronaldo Nazario, man. The greatest number 9 ever.
All right, Ricardo. Talk
Wait, the reason why I have CR7 ahead of Maradona is
I'm after Ricardo, man.
Wilton, I don't want to know. Ricardo, talk over this guy, please. Ricardo, you're 5.
Objectively speaking, okay, Messi's got to be number 1. I'll say Maradona and Pele. That's the holy trinity. That's 1, 2, and 3. Whichever order you want it, whatever. 1, 2, and 3. Messi, Maradona, Pele. 4 and 5, man. I always had a bias towards Zidane and Ronaldo just because I actually watched them.
But Cruyff was better.
I mean,
Cruyff was not. I mean,
longevity, bro.
No.
Because of a Cruyff turn.
Ricardo, come on. Come on.
I would say 4.
That's Pele invented.
Exactly.
Come on, let me do a suit. Come on, let me do a suit.
4. Bro, I respect Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy. I really do.
He's on there.
I'm gonna do a suit.
But hold on. But my issue is that when we're talking about, I don't have Cruyff there. The problem is that we're talking about when we're talking about the GOAT, you must have the World Cup. We know this. We know this. We know this.
No, the GOAT needs the World Cup. A GOAT does not need the World Cup.
Yes, they do, bro. When you have Pele, Maradona, freaking Zidane, R9, all these guys have a World Cup, you need the World Cup, bro. That's
come on,
Nah, bro.
do it for the culture. Do it for the culture.
Ricardo, can you get this? Ricardo, can you get this?
So this is your 4 and 5.
Okay, so Messi, Maradona, Pele. To me, R9 4th and Cristiano Ronaldo 5th.
Can I go next?
I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest European of all time.
Can I
He is.
Can I go next?
He simply
Can I go next?
He is.
Can I go next?
Go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead, bro.
Let me go next, man.
He's top 5 HS. I don't know why you're surprised about that. Like,
No. To be fair, bro. To be fair to Cristiano
With
Ronaldo.
no World Cup. No World Cup, bro. You kidding?
Ricardo is the GOAT. Ricardo is the GOAT.
Wait, can I
show you?
explain? The reason why I have Cristiano as 5th is because even though Zidane has the international side, is his legacy at the club level. Look, I told you, I've watched.
Yeah,
hold on. Zidane, as great as he is, one of the best midfielders of all time, he was incredibly inconsistent. That cannot go.
Bro, Ricardo, it's not even that. Ronaldo's the greatest Champions League player of all time, and he helped his country. He helped his country their first European trophy.
Okay, Ziman, you're fine.
Ricardo just won the Ballon d'Or panelist. That's it. 2023 is good. It was over, bro.
He elevated Portugal, bro. He elevated Portugal. Like,
no, he did.
Wait. Yes, I think you forget that. I can actually rig the Ballon d'Or results. So
No.
Ziman, give me a 5. Ziman, give me a 5.
I mean, okay. Number 1 is Messi. Obviously, you know, one only talented player.
Ziman, just give us your 5, man.
Maradona, Pele, Beckenbauer, and I want to say R9 just because I actually rate him high. HH. It's just that you always say that he had a grenade tossed to his ankle and he floated or some type of stuff. It's crazy, bro.
No, that's crazy. A grenade.
Yo, they strapped the C4 to his knee, man.
His ankle. I'm claps like that, bro.
I'm not laughing.
Straight into his kneecap. He's never the same again.
I'm not laughing. That's not funny.
It just said someone assaulted him while he was asleep.
My man got poisoned and a grenade, bro. That's crazy. My man got a 50-cent career, bro.
Zivan, you know that meme of Vince McMahon when
It's like, no.
But guys, I would have loved to see R9.
That's Dodd.
No. This guy is literally up there with 50 Cent surviving gunshots, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy. They did everything to stop the guy.
That's done.
Hold on. Low key. Actually, I have an alternative list. My alternative list is R9 on number 1. In terms of just pure Dodd, R9 is 1.
Grenade, bro. How do you survive a grenade to tell the story, bro?
They poisoned him.
Z-Man, it's not my turn to talk, but could you please mention how many sitters R9 missed in the 2002 final?
Oh, we want to shots
he still scored a brace,
man. He still scored a brace, man. From open play, none of which were penalties. So, this is... So, Asia, so we'll be out of here. Last dozen, we'll be out of here. Shout out to the panel. Vilson, Yasir, Mike, Hunt, and half of the goats, man. Thank you, man. Thank you a lot, man.
Yeah, shout out to you, AJ, man. Shout out, man.
Joshua, people need to stop saying Iniesta better than Zidane.
Only Zidane is saying that.
Iniesta. Are we sleeping on Iniesta?
No, we're not.
We're sleeping on him.
Are we sleeping on Iniesta?
We're sleeping.
No, we're not. We're not.
You know what's
Iniesta was amazing.
No,
Zidane was different, bro.
Wait, hold up.
You know what's the difference?
World Cup winning goal in the final, 2 Euros, and every UCL Messi has won, Iniesta has won as well.
It's just nobody's denying that, but
that's a good conversation, bro.
He's not top 10, bro. He's not top 10. He's not
Wait,
top 10.
Wait, sorry, Azima, what are you saying?
No, I'll say this, bro. Well, Iniesta showed up with the World Cup final. He scored a goal while Zidane let his nation down when they needed him the most in 2006.
Okay, come on, that's such a Barcelona bias.
Let's move. So, Pele is the GOAT. Deal with it. Yeah? Jay Jokin took Messi 5 World Cups to get a knockout goal.
Hey, man, we can't say anything. My guy does
that make Ronaldo?
I've always said Gid. It took you 5 tries to get a World Cup knockout goal. It is what it is. It took you 5 tries. It took Mbappe 1 try.
It took Pele one.
It took Mbappe and Pele 1 try.
R9 one time. Zidane 1 time. See, that's why I say Pele's the GOAT.
Guys,
was 86 Maradona's first World Cup, or did he play 82?
No, he was in 82. He played.
Do you guys want to hear something shocking, right? Something shocking. So there's a YouTube channel it's a very big channel. It's called the Big Six, right? So this guy on the panel, one of the guys on the panel, right, said something that was so wild. He said he rates Steven Gerrard over Zidane. That's what he said, bro. Not only that, not only that, right? Not only that, right? Hold on. That's not even the crazy part. The guy was a Tottenham Hotspur fan. And there was a Liverpool guy on the panel that said he was crazy, bro. Imagine,
Look, the guys are mad, man. Joshua, the only good thing CR7. Okay, let's not.
Okay,
let's not do that. Let's not. King Sash, 5 pence to win the World Cup. Rigged, Messi, not GOAT.
I mean, you still got to score the penalty.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
It's true. You still have to.
All I'm saying though, if it was a certain number 7 that was getting a penalty.
So, so with your logic, is McGregor the GOAT? I already explained that to
isn't it John Jones?
Social media attacks.
Isn't it John Jones?
So pound for pound, John Jones is seen as the best.
I think. Okay, I've watched all the careers.
Or is it
John Jones? To me, he's the most talented. He's the best fighter to ever fight, but he's not the greatest. GSP is the greatest.
I think arguably you could say Demetrius Johnson.
What about Khabib?
You can say
what about Khabib?
Khabib is so overrated.
Listen to UFC. Isn't he visual ID? Believing on the opinions on football is like receiving an email from the Nigerian police that his child is. Don't do that, man. That's messed up.
Respect Nigeria, man.
Respect. Z-Man, there are hands. Just relax, Z-Man. Just relax. Adams, someone from a different planet lands on Earth and they've never watched a sport or football, and they ask you to show them a player that defines the sport. Who do you play? For me, it's Messi or Dino.
Can we stop this Dino nonsense? I mean, let's be real here. Let's be real.
Nah, come on, bro.
Dino will forever be the ghost, the goat of the streets.
Hold up.
He's the street.
You see, Adams, this is a great thing. See, this is tough because, see, for Messi, in terms of just like ticking the boxes,
Messi is
pass, see, Messi and Dino, they represent the total different aspects of what it is. Messi is like everything is
like
ticks box.
Yeah, he's like a robot.
Dino is like personality.
No, that's crazy, bro.
Dino is personality.
HH, you gotta admit that Messi, he is the simplest player to play the game.
Yeah.
No, that's why I say robot.
No, I'm just saying he plays the game in the most pure. I wouldn't say he's a robot because Cristiano Ronaldo is a robot.
No, not playing style, dude. Not playing style. I'm talking about like he's a machine.
Hold on, Ricardo. But my thing is that hold up, Ricardo. For Messi, it's like I need to get here. So from point A to point B, I'm just going to go from point A to point B, and that's it.
No, but I'll say this. Between Messi and Ronaldinho is the essence of Brazilian football. Brazilian football isn't all football. Messi, he played football at the simplest and most effective level. So I think if you're going to... So Messi, I don't know, it doesn't matter who you pick, but that's the way.
To be fair, I would actually choose R9 to be the symbol of that, because if you want... I mean,
more than Dino. More than Dino.
You know what? No,
because R9.
That's crazy.
Zima.
No. My thing is like, if you want to look at, not only the Brazilian side, but you also want to look at just the phenom in terms of the pure aspect of football, which is dribbling. Then you could probably make an argument that I would choose Messi over Dino. But if you want to look at like stylistic, a person who like defined a whole generation of like enjoying a certain aesthetic style of play, that would be Dino. But overall, I would say even R9, bro. R9 would definitely be up there.
Let me ask you this though.
But I would say it's Messi.
If you had to do a pickup game, who you picking to be on your team, Dino or Messi?
Messi.
A pickup game in the street.
Yeah.
No boots. No boots. Bare feet.
Wait, let me just say this.
Dino's for the streets, man.
Not only you would have fun with Dino, after the game, the after party is gonna be lit, bro.
The reason why I pick Messi, because Messi will make you play better. Like, will make you a better player.
Yeah,
the funny thing though, like, they actually asked Dino, they say, Dino, like, what do you actually prefer more? your goals or your assists. Said my assists. I actually put my assists. And here's the thing. I don't know who missed it. I think it was Larson. Remember that Dino pass? Where he sort of hits across the ball and it just sort of goes one of the best passes I've ever seen in my life. Actually, the thing with Dino is that Dino has done some things I've never seen before in my life.
No,
he's done some things where I've never seen a player do this kind of thing before in my life.
His chest control is crazy, bro.
Wouldn't you say Messi is like the straight A student that comes to school, show up to school on time, does everything right? He just checks all the boxes. And Dino is like the cool kid in school that you wanna hang out with.
Basically, that's what it's like. Messi is like everything is ticked. Every box is ticked. Everything is perfect. Thing with Dino is
vibe.
Okay, it's like okay. You've not actually done what it says on the curriculum, but the way you've done it is so dynamic. You can't actually do it. So wait a minute. I didn't actually think you could actually do it this way. So it's right, but it's not actually what I taught you. But because you could do it a whole different weird way.
The problem with Wilton is that he thinks that Cristiano was an eye test merchant.
Okay, undisputed. Okay,
wait, hold on. So Faz is. I get the feeling this has to do with Hugh. Oh God. You never said Pele before, but because Messi won, you thought you'd be slick. You probably also Eusebio over. No, I wouldn't say it. No, but so all I'll say is this, though. All I'll say is this, and this is very simple. And this last I said this, and I don't want to. If a whole bunch of white people in the 60s and 50s says that a dark-skinned black guy was amazing, case closed. So shout out to your boy Mo, man. Shout out to your boy Mo. So LL, you clown. I told you Arsenal will win the league. P.S. The vote is over for sabotage.
You're talking about Chelsea.
No, AJ, I want to have. We talked about the goal debate with the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Look, shout out to Wilton, bro. The Holy Trinity is South American. We need to have a discussion. Who's the greatest European player of all time?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, it's Zidane.
No, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is better.
Zidane
Cristiano Ronaldo was better than Zidane. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hold on, guys. One.
No, listen. I don't like disrespecting Zidane. But Zidane never had the consistency that Ronaldo had. See, that's the thing, though. Like, I love Zidane. I love Zidane. Zidane's amazing.
Beats Brazil.
Come on, stop saying that.
We're not doing this.
There is no chance in hell I'm putting Cristiano over.
I love Zidane. You know what Zidane did? This guy picked France over Algeria because Algeria was just too hard, so he picked France.
He was born in France.
No, but he couldn't play for Algeria. Then he picked for France. Then this guy.
France, though.
No, but he couldn't.
I was born in France. Everyone was born in France. Come on, bro.
It's his choice.
Yo, but and also it's just come on, bro. The guy got heated in the World Cup final because this is something about his sister, bro.
Oh wow! When I say that, Milton,
we have to be honest. Like, is Zidane better?
Zidane is a Real Madrid
legend. Zidane's not better than Michel Platini. Let's be real.
He's better than Platini. Just stop.
And for football, football is not like boxing or basketball. The global face of the sport changes from time to time. At a point, you'd have a better chance of finding someone who did not watch the sport, but who had heard of Maradona and not Pele.
There's a lot of people that don't
everybody knows about Pele.
You know, I know people.
No, bro. People know of. Do you know how I knew that Pele was huge? When Stephen A. Smith was talking about Pele, then I knew that this guy's because Stephen A. Smith knows nothing about football.
Some people don't need some people didn't know. I generally know some people like American people that they don't know who Messi is, but they know who Maradona is.
There are guys who don't know who Messi is.
But since he won the World Cup now, I think a lot of people
because now and also because of social media and everything. Boom. But years ago, nothing knew who was it. So, one day you can. The same is going to happen with Bron. No, there'll never be a greater player than Jordan. It'll never happen.
Hey man,
but there's an argument to say who's the best player though.
This is a whole separate convo, but just very briefly.
LeBron's better though.
LeBron is the most talented basketball player of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
Jordan will always be the GOAT.
LeBron's the GOAT. LeBron's the GOAT. You know, wait. You know LeBron about to be the all-time scorer in NBA history.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, LeBron is the best
statistically
player.
the most talented player of all time.
The scary part, he's not even a scorer.
Wait, no. Let's not diverse. This is a whole other convo. Hold on. Casey, by HG's logic, Archimedes will be the GOAT physicist as he revolutionized the field. So does that mean Newton and Einstein can't be the greatest? Casey.
What? Casey was a dub.
No. Casey,
that makes
bring that back to me on Monday and so forth. But Casey, basically, my point stands. My point stands, Casey.
But Einstein and Newton revolutionized
top
physics.
5 international players from the 08 World Cup Euro competition. Wait, what happened? What happened in 2008?
So we already know the top 2.
I guess
the top 3.
Torres. We just talking about the Spain team?
Xavi. I guess. Are we talking about all together? All these different.
Wait, here's what I'm saying. There wasn't a World Cup in 2008.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, there wasn't. But there was a Euro.
There was a Euro.
I think he's talking about all the way up to
08.
2010. I think he's gone. All the way up to
Then
2010.
obviously Messi,
Iniesta, Xavi. 2010.
No.
You can't say Messi.
He said international, so it has to be. I would say Iniesta. Well, yeah, it would be Iniesta, Xavi, and then
Ramos.
Messi.
No, Ramos.
Messi wasn't that good.
David Villa.
Buffon.
Yeah.
No,
well, majority of them are going to be Spanish.
Yeah,
this just put Spanish guys and Messi. Spanish guys and Messi.
You can't say Messi because Messi wasn't that great at the 2010
He's
World
talking
Cup.
about international tournament.
No, he's talking since 2008. Since
2008. Since 2008.
No, he said top 5 players from
international. Yeah,
there was no World Cup in 2008.
Yeah, it's a top 5 international player from 2008.
This question
so
is
he's strictly talking about international.
Let's skip. So So Messi played the beautiful game which we all love in the most honest way.
That is true. I believe that.
No, look.
But you know,
Messi,
one thing I'll say about Messi though, real quick. One thing I'll say about Messi is I 100% agree with Ricardo said. He played the game very simply. But the weird thing about it is he still managed to embarrass players anyways. So like because when Dino would do what he did, Dino was trying to do what he was trying to do.
No.
But you know what I mean? But Messi would,
that's why it goes back to personality. Like for Messi,
this is what Messi did.
Did you know what Messi
drop on the shoulder?
Messi was like, Messi is R9.
Dancing at a nightclub, bro.
Put it this way, Messi is R9. Messi and R9. What is the most effective way of getting from point A to point B? So for them, they're just super talented. Dino is. No, I know it's point A to point B, but I'm going to go with a bit of C and a bit of D before I go to B. So and that's why Dino inspired a whole generation. People fell in love with football because of Dino.
I don't know
Antonio Badani.
I don't know.
Pele dies, and now he's the GOAT. Where was this a year ago? Antonio, it's called research.
He's always been the GOAT. He's always been the GOAT.
Hold on. Even racists said Pele is.
You know how hard that is, though.
No. Yes, that's Doi. Yes, it's Doi.
Yeah, that's insane.
Doi mean?
See, for me, like, I don't want to get into the point, but
Doi mean?
It's degree of impossibility. But see, yes, that is the point that shows everything. If white guys are saying now black was the best, yes.
That's crazy.
Miss Nation, you have never seen the entire history, so you can't call the player the best in history. Yes, true. But we can use race tax,
Wait, H.
Yes. Yeah, Danny, go for it. So guys, we are rounding off now, man. So don't say anything. We're rounding off now. Well, Danny, go for it.
I was gonna say, I remember like in one of the videos in the past, you said like you looked over Pele's like footage of him playing, and didn't you say like Hazard like goes higher than him in the eye test?
Okay, download. Danny,
ain't no way, HH.
People choose their opinion.
First of all,
context crack for a reason.
I don't believe there's a receipt on that or so. But see, Danny, but that's my point.
This is why freedom of speech shouldn't exist.
You see, we don't have all the footage of Pele, but if a whole bunch of people said this guy is the greatest player that we've ever seen.
From 3 different
imagine the kind of stuff that he must have been doing for everybody to swear by. No, this is the best player we've ever seen in our lives.
Isn't that kind of the thing with like?
Can we
isn't
stop
that like the way it works with stories? Like when it gets passed down from generation to generation, like the story gets muddled. So like maybe it's like a story like
again, Danny, on the whole story thing. If let's say several people say, "Man, this guy was the best. This guy was the best,"
even for
overwhelming number, human logic. That's how you solve a court case. We went there when things happened. But if 6, 7, 8, 9 witnesses said this happened, by pure human logic, you were like, it has to be true. So, because again, like, none of us saw all of what Pele did. Because I think, you know what they said? I think they said that the best goal that Pele ever scored wasn't actually
shown. Yeah.
No,
like, there's like a whole animation done. And when you see this goal...
AJ, can we stop with that video of Pele was the first to do it? You're really telling me.
That was
no
Ricardo.
No, hold on. Let me tell you why.
All I'm saying,
he was the first. He was the first.
No, he wasn't. Because
Who was?
How do you know? Okay, Rick, how do you know?
Yeah, who was? Who
No,
was?
it's just
Okay, let me land.
It's pure logic. You're telling me that when Pele played, he pretty much came onto the scene in 1958. You're telling me from when football was since like let's say 1930 when the World Cup like initially started. There's a player on his team named Garrincha who's unanimously known as a better dribbler and probably the best dribbler of all time.
Yeah.
You're telling me this guy's never done a little chop? This guy's never done a little.
You think Garrincha have like
Who did he learn it from? No, Ricardo.
Where did he learn it from?
Hold
on.
Was one of his feet longer than
Let me educate you dummies. Garrincha is 7 years older than Pele. You're telling me.
No, wait.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, but Ricardo. Pele said what's up as a 17-year-old. So all the guys were learning from him.
But I'm just trying to understand. You're going off of a video.
You're telling me a guy in the 1930s and the 1940s never did a little step over.
Ricardo, Joseph
Jimmy
Jones and Lycan didn't have that sauce, but they have the swag. Yes, peace out. Milton, what say?
Why do we speak of highly? Garrincha obviously is a Brazilian legend. Nobody's denying that, but even himself, he said Pele is the guy I dream to be of. He's the GOAT. He's the guy I strive to be at. Why don't we speak the way Garrincha? Why don't we speak about Garrincha the way we talk about Pele?
Let me get to that. Let me educate you because I spoke about this with this note that over here. I told you the reason why FIFA never glorified Garrincha is because Garrincha was not the model professional.
He was
always the model.
He was a drunk alcoholic.
He was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He was a womanizer. The same reason why FIFA didn't try to push Maradona, but
he cheated though.
Maradona was so great as a crackhead.
No, but George Best,
Bro,
man.
that's why I'm telling you. That's why Pele was favored. Let's not.
But Maradona was also
Ricardo
Pele
was an industry plant, man.
Wait. So guys, let's round off, guys. Because we're coming to 3 hours. So Quap says that's Messi doc he was filming would change. Is that everything or AFN?
Yeah, everything.
But why did he spell it AFN? Well, no, here's the thing.
You're not new.
That's doc. I can't wait to see that doc. That is going to be a great documentary. It's going to be a great documentary. Badass Omelets. Messi's only criticism was lack of international performance achievements, low mentality, lack of leadership, only performance in the system. In 2022, has he answered his critics with PSG and Argentina?
Absolutely not with PSG. Absolutely not with PSG.
No. What's the point of answering to PSG when he's answering an international stage where he's been
PSG's best player this season?
Yeah. What does Messi have to prove in football?
After this World Cup,
Messi completed.
Messi answered every critic against him.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what you see. So the only thing with Messi right now is the debates between him, Pele, and Maradona. In terms of everything I held against him, he answered.
Messi's PSG's best player this season. Let's not be dumb. All right, let's not be dumb. So
you saw the score today. They lost 3-1. So.
Look, Mbappe saving himself for.
They lost 2 lens. They lost 2 glasses. Bro.
NDI. Relax. Number 1, Pele. 2, Messi. 3, Maradona.
Oh my God.
Leviathan. Wait, hold on. Is that
most people have him as the greatest goalkeeper
5
of all time.
Ronaldo.
That's the goalkeeper.
Bro, I got a question for everyone that rates that goalkeeper. How much of you guys actually watch this clip, bro?
That's FIFA Ultimate Team Tax.
No.
I mean, he's the only goalkeeper to have won a Ballon d'Or.
I see everyone rate him as the greatest goalkeeper, and I'm like,
Zeman, have some respect. Zeman, stop it.
He's the only goalkeeper that's won a Ballon d'Or.
So Ronaldo Okpara. Damn, Barca fans on this panel should be ashamed. The disrespect of Cruyff is crazy.
How is it disrespectful?
How is it disrespectful?
Cruyff was not that amazing player.
Talking about
Cruyff was an amazing player.
He's not all time. He just
Cruyff is not. And let's be real. Robin is better than Cruyff.
Oh my God!
No, he's not.
Cruyff and Bergkamp are better than Cruyff.
No, he's not.
Hit the brick.
I told you. I saw Cruyff clips.
Hit the bricks, bro.
Robin is better. Robin is better. Quab, Messi, Maradona, Pele, Di Stefano. Oh, stop it.
No, to be fair, a lot of people have said Di Stefano is one of the top 5 all time.
That's true.
So just based on performance, first, and achievements, second, only from the most important tournaments, only World Cup, Euros, Copa, and CL. Rank them. CR7, Mbappe. Okay,
that's unfair to Pele.
Yeah, you see,
the World Cup.
And this is the issue. The moment you put in the UCL, you can't look at Pele because South America was dunking on Europe back in the 60s.
Can't put Maradona either. You can't put Mbappe. You can't put R9.
Let's just put his version of UCL for Pele and Maradona.
But this is where the era thing comes into it, because during that time the World Cup was the pinnacle.
The World Cup was the main thing, not
but it was the biggest thing. But now in the modern time, the Champions League is more glorified. Right? But
You know what's wild? Cristiano Ronaldo's battling with Mbappe. If I'm making the list, bro. Like,
no. The wild thing.
Actually, Mbappe is ahead.
If Mbappe gets a second, if Mbappe gets a second World Cup dub, what are we saying?
But how can Mbappe be on there, bro? Like, Jesus.
The thing is, if it turns into the Super League, the Champions League is over.
Danny, there you go. You see,
when we get to Super League and it gets World Cups,
Danny,
that's when things start to look a lot funny.
So Danny, a 16-year-old in the year 2040, where it's now the Super League. What about those bombers UCLs back in the Stone Age?
Exactly.
They will refer to this as the Stone Age. What freaking UCLs? Like, get that bombers.
You know what's gonna hurt? The fact that they're gonna look back at Messi and Ronaldo and be like, these guys play when there was no VAR, so their goals don't even get.
It's not even that. It's not even that. They played without bots, bro. They're gonna be like, look at this, man. Human interaction.
Yeah. No machine. No bots. Everybody. Trust me. In 50 years' time, people will disrespect this era.
It's funny. Yeah. The World Cup is the only tournament where it's been the same since it was founded.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of like what you said. Which is why I said that for Messi. This is why Messi, you had to win that World Cup, which he did.
To be fair, HH, the World Cup might move to 2 years, so you know that.
Yeah.
No. Guys,
you need 2 to win 1.
No, that's okay. And
every 3 counts as 1.
Enjoy it when you can, because it's going to okay. Messi gets his GOAT award. I guess. Wait, what the hell?
Bro, she's not gonna.
No. Okay, she's not gonna. No. Don't. Just don't. I'm sorry, but Maradona is better and greater than Pele. Diego encapsulates football: greatness, passion, talent, achievements.
Cocaine, cheating.
Maradona is football. That's what I've always said. Maradona is football.
If Wilton wasn't Brazilian, he would have a different.
100%. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Europe only list.
Put your Haitian glasses on, man.
Cruyff best. Okay, so Europe only list: Cruyff, George Best, Zidane, C. Ronaldo, Beckenbauer. Put them in whatever order you want. Honorable mentions: Modric, Ibrahimovic, Iniesta.
Wait.
Pirlo,
has
Henry.
Mentions, bro.
My bias and my blood says Modric. Look, see, should Modric be on an all-time Europe list?
Yes, he should.
Yes,
he should.
First and foremost,
for me, he has to be, because what's it called? So is that 5 or 4 UCLs?
Yeah, 5 or 4. Is it top 5? Top 10?
So 5 UCLs and guiding Croatia to a World Cup final.
Okay, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We're talking about greatest, so you have to kick out George Best because he hasn't accomplished anything.
Yes, Best is out of there. Get Best out of there.
So actually, if we're gonna keep top 5, then we're gonna kick out Best. You can't put Modric.
Should Cruyff be there with that? Okay, of course. Okay, fair.
No, Cruyff has to be there.
No, Cruyff has
to repeat with that. He could be on the list.
So top 5.
If that's not the case, then
top 5 has to be Cruyff, Iniesta, Zidane, Ronaldo, and Beckenbauer.
Yeah, Iniesta's got to be there. Iniesta has to be there.
I think Beckenbauer is probably number 1 though.
Yeah,
you can make an argument
on that list.
Like he redefined his defending. You can make an argument. Okay, last up and be out of here, man. Casey, Messi, Maradona, Pele, Beckenbauer. Oh, Casey, get out of here, man. Get out. Really, over Zidane, get out of here. Guys, it's been swell. We shall now go back to Chelsea's. Hopefully, guys, February is a big month for Chelsea. Don't, but here we go, man. So, guys,
did you talk about that Enzo rumor at all, or is that just a rumor? It's a myths.
On Dispute said this based on the events of Nottingham Forest.
I swear that you're
guys, well. I shall see you guys on the other one. Peace out.
Are you still paying Lukaku's wages?
R9 is still. Okay, let's get out of here.
you.